Thank you very much, Alan. Yes, we are live here once again, ladies and gentlemen, for day 6, the final day of action of the British Swimming Championships 2022. It has been an amazing week of racing. The year after the Olympics, lots to look at and lots of events, obviously, for these athletes trying to qualify, trying to get their names in the mix to get on those planes and go represent their country. One more day of racing to get through, last final session. But before we get into it, I want to take a look back at last night. We crowned some new British champions. So who was it? If you missed it, you're watching at home, this is what you missed out on. Dan Jervis, the men's 800-meter freestyle, taking home his 3rd British title of the week. We then moved on to the women's 50-meter backstroke, where Lauren Cox had a cracking one. It was the first British title, and she seemed super chuffed with that at the end of that race. We then had the men's 50-meter freestyle. Lewis Burris took the 50 and the 100 this week, was looking super strong out there in the pool. Very, very quick, going head-to-head with Ben Proud in that one, but just pipping him right at the end. We then had Freya Anderson take the title, her first one of the week, in the women's 400-meter freestyle. It was great to see her on top of that podium once again. And then Duncan Scott in that men's 200-meter individual medley. Amazing performances by him this week, so I know he's looking for big things over the summer. We finished off the night, of course, with Abby Wood taking that women's 200-meter individual medley. So that was last night, the penultimate night of racing. Tonight, we've got 6 more to crown. But before we get into that, we've got a couple of guests coming into the studio to have a chat with me. One of them is, of course, British Swimming's head coach, Bill Furness. Bill, thank you so much for coming down and having a chat.
No problem.
It's obviously an interesting year this year, post-Olympics, bit of a reset, very short Olympic cycle. How has the week been from your perspective?
Pretty much what I expected. We've had some good breakthrough swims, and we've had some of our top athletes swim really well. But also we've got a few athletes who are obviously in hard training, or ones who've had a rest, catching up somewhat. So I don't think this is indicative of how we're going to swim in the summer. You know, we've got another 10, 11 weeks of preparation before Worlds, so I'm sure the teams we pick will be in a lot better shape by the summer. And in context, I think it'll be a pretty solid meet for us as a preparation.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly been some surprises for me. I know it's been sort of 3 years since we've had a full British Championships, an event like this. Has there been some youngsters maybe coming up through the junior ranks and stuff that have caught your eye? Some surprises there?
Well yeah, I mean, without mentioning particular names, I think our European junior selectors are very pleased and surprised. I think we've already got more qualifiers for European juniors than we've ever had. So that's a nice problem to have for the selectors tomorrow. Yeah. But it's excellent, particularly with COVID, because you know a lot of our athletes couldn't train for almost 2 years. So to bounce back that quickly, I think is very encouraging.
Yeah. And I mean, during that time, obviously it's been a wild couple of years. From your perspective, how was it managing everything throughout that COVID time, managing the athletes, managing the team?
Look, I just think all the team around, you know, British Swimming and just did a great job, and the athletes did an even better job, and the coaches, because it was difficult, but we just knuckled down and we got on with it. And I think you could see the end product of that in Tokyo. So I think our return to training protocol, we got people in when we could. Unfortunately, we couldn't get every swimmer in the country in, but we got as many in as we could. We were probably leading the sports in the UK and educating them on how to get athletes in and training safely. And, you know, we had a good result in Tokyo, largely because of that, I think.
Yeah, I mean, an amazing result in Tokyo, the best for British swimming ever. And sort of looking forward now, there's so many meets coming up, the calendar's sort of out of whack. How are you sort of managing that? Are the athletes allowed to pick which ones they want to compete at, or does that come from you guys?
Look, I think it's really important. We had a 5-year cycle really up to the Olympic Games. It was hard work for the athletes, and it's important that they get time to have a break, which they've done, a lot of them, because the ultimate thing now is Paris. And if, you know, this year could be, I'll be honest, could be a little bit clunky for us. But Paris is the goal. So this is a reset year. Obviously, we've got the World Championships, we've got the Commonwealth Games, but the European Championships, certainly for our top athletes, is not compulsory. So some of our big hitters will go there, but also we will use that championships to develop both our younger swimmers and also some of our staff, some of our coaches, some new coaches on the program, and we'll try and use this year more as a reset year so we can bounce on, get better next year for the Worlds, and then be at our best in 2024.
2024. Well, I look forward to see what happens over the next couple of years. I know it's going to be a busy one for you. I don't envy your job tomorrow, but thanks for coming and having a chat. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Bill Furness. And let's go to VT. And welcome back to Deep End Live, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to getting closer and closer to our final night of racing. But before we get there, we have another very special guest joining us in the Deep End Live studio. She was crowned British champion last night. She's had an illustrious career, and she's still very, very young. I love her. You guys love her. It's Freya Anderson. Freya, welcome, my love. Lovely to see you.
Thank you for having me.
It's awesome to have you here. Now, obviously, took the title last night. Congratulations there. It's been, you said last night, a bit of a random week for you. Now that you finished racing and you've had time to look back over it, how are you feeling about where you stand and where you're at?
I still think it's been a weird week, but I'm really happy with the win last night and how my race process planned out. So it just shows I've just got a little bit more training to do, and if I can just get that consistency, then hopefully in the summer I can get them times back down.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see it. You know, for you, it's been, I think, a bit of a weird one. We watched you sort of progress through those junior ranks, made big waves as you came up as a senior. And then, of course, COVID hit, everything shut down. So it's been a bit tumultuous, sort of your process and progress in the senior ranks. How have you managed that?
Just surrounding myself with the right people. Obviously, down in Bath, we've got an amazing training group, amazing coach, and my family, obviously. It's just a good way to keep you grounded, I guess.
Yeah, and that's important, you think?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
As a professional athlete, I suppose having that support network, you know, to go and compete on the biggest stage like you did the Olympics, did you love it?
Yeah, that was another weird one. Yeah. It was another weird week. But no, definitely I enjoyed it. And with the COVID protocols, I didn't really take away from the Olympic experience, so it was nice.
I'm glad and happy to hear that. And obviously this year we got Worlds, we got Commies, we got Europeans. What's your plan as we head into that? Hopefully all of them.
We're going on a training camp in Turkey next week, so that will be nice to get the season started. And the Men Ostrom series and a few more races in between the busy summer.
It's going to be super busy. But speaking of competitions, I know you've been dreading this, but you've got to do the chopstick challenge. I tried it this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, because I was wondering why all the athletes were you know, not doing too great. I tried it. It's harder than it looks. So let's take a look at how I did, and we'll get you set up, Freya.
Go. Oh my God, it is hard. It is hard. 15. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Stop.
Oh, but it went in, I got 6. Our independent adjudicator wouldn't give me that last one either. I think that's unfair. But Freya, you've just got to get 6, all right? We're tied. We have 3 of our athletes on 5, so you've just got to get 6. My only advice, don't panic in the last 10 seconds like I did. So can we get 30 seconds up on the clock? And we're ready in 3, 2, 1, go. Come on, Freya. It's the last chopstick challenge of the week. I know it's harder than you think. You got it. Breathe, stay focused. 1. You've just got 5 more to get. You can do it. 2. Come on, Freya. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. You got it. 3. You'll take 3. You know what? That's not bad. You take it. There you go. Thank you very much, Freya. Thanks for coming down and joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give it up for Freya Anderson? All right, it is up to Andy and Amy to run us through tonight's action, and we'll see you back here in just a bit.
Well, thank you, John. And you join us for the final session of finals at this 2022 British National Championships. And we've got some absolute crackers. I think we've actually saved the best for last here, Amy. We've got that men's 200 meters freestyle right at the end. But let's start with the women's 1500 meters freestyle and the gold and silver from the 800 going in that one.
Yeah, we have Fleur Lewis, the fastest seed, and Leah Crispa, 800-metre gold medalist. So that should be a really good race tonight.
And then straight into the men's 50 metres butterfly. And we've got Jacob Peters, a slightly surprise fastest qualifier, I think, there.
Yeah, he was quick this morning. And we've got Ben Proud, our British record holder, fastest time on paper. And we have Adam Barrett as well, just the other side.
Well, in that one, Ben Proud, the 7th fastest man in history, the 4th fastest human in water from his 50 metres freestyle. Really looking forward to him. He does a no-breather on the fly. It's amazing. Then we're going to go straight into the women's 100 metres breaststroke. And that one really seems to be a bit of a fight. I have to say, I can't tell you who's going to win that one.
Yeah, Cara Hanlon, our fastest seed, and either side of her is our 50 specialist, Imogen Clark and Sarah Vasey.
Then we go into the men's 200 metres backstroke. And, well, there's a big favourite, I think, on that one. Luke Greenbank, British Olympic bronze medalist in Tokyo, and an absolutely super 200 backstroker, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, and joining him tonight is Brodie Williams, our 200 back semi-finalist as well.
Then we have the women's fly, and it's a sprint against distance on that one.
Yeah, Harriet Jones versus Laura Stevens, so that'll be a really tight race tonight.
And then the final one, the big one, we have all of our Olympic 4x2 gold medal winning team here in the final, as well as the reserve. Well, the reserve, he swam in the heats, and of course, such an important race that was for Callum Jarvis. But the top 4 guys all ranked in the top 10 in the world this year. But we've got Olympic gold medalist Tom Dean, and we've got Olympic silver medalist Duncan Scott in that final race. Can't wait for that last one. That's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, really looking forward tonight. And as you say, save the best to last.
Good stuff. Well, back down on the poolside for John and introduce the first races.
Thank you very much, Andy and Amy. Of course, if you're watching at home live on YouTube or Facebook, you're going to be hearing them in the commentary team. If you're in here in venue, we have Mr. Alan March. So let's get into the final night of racing. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the British Swimming Championships 2022, Day 6.
So the judges done a super job here all through the week. We've been commentating, Amy and I, on the heats and the final sessions, the morning heats and the evening finals. There's also been an afternoon session every single day, and they have gone all the way through. 3 sessions a day for 6 days, 18 sessions. So they've done a super job. They've still got a sense of humour. Well done. Really delivered a super meet they have. And the first race up, well, it will be their 1500 metres freestyle for women, then the men's 50 fly, the no-breather. I'm looking forward to there. What can Ben Proud do? Can he seek revenge for that silver he got on the 50 metres freestyle? Women's 100 metres breaststroke, Amy's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, we have Imogen Clark, our 50 winner from early in the week. We have Sarah Vasey as well, our Commonwealth champion. So joining Cara Hanlon in the centre lanes will be a really close race.
So I hear that we have 2 withdrawals from the 1500 metres freestyle. Heats 2 and 6, so that's Lauren Weatherall is not swimming. And Ella Dyson, the open water swimmer from Wickham District, is also withdrawn. So there's only going to be 8 in this final. On all the finals, actually, the actual finals, there's only 8 swimmers, but because this is the last heat, it's the final heat of the women's 1500 metres freestyle. It's heat 7. In the heats, you have 10 swimmers per heat normally. Anya Priest goes in lane 0 in this the final heat of the women's 1500 metres freestyle. We saw Olivia Kingsland going from Nova Centurion in 9. Next to her is going to be Nicola Ryan of Guildford City.
Yeah, this race tonight, we've got a lot of different athletes, a lot of different ages, so I'm really looking forward to this, to be honest.
And then we have Amber Keegan in lane number 1. Then she's going to have a spare lane next to her because Lauren Weatherall has withdrawn in lane number 2. So she's going to have clear water one side of her, which I think could be quite useful for her. Emily Clark in 7 of Loughborough University. 8th in the 800 metres freestyle. And a lot of the 800 freestylers coming into this big final. So who are they going to introduce next? It's actually Michaela Glenister, because 2 and 6 withdrawn. So 3rd fastest seed coming into this final heat is Michaela Glenister of Stirling.
Yeah, trains at the University of Stirling. And here we have Leah Crisp in lane 5. Our Bath National Centre swimmer. Trains alongside Freya Anderson, who we just saw a second ago.
And the fastest 2, well, we've had Leah Crisp in 5, and then we've got the fastest seed coming into this event. She was a silver medalist in the 800 freestyle. It's Fleur Lewis of Barnet Copthall. Fleur got the silver, but she's fastest seed. Leah Crisp got the gold in the 800, but she's 2nd fastest seed. This is going to be a very, very interesting race. Tactically, well, if you were Fleur Lewis, you came 2nd on the 800 metres freestyle. How would you take on the 1500 metres freestyle if you want to try and beat Leah Crisp, who won that 800?
Yeah, for me, I would approach this in almost 3 500-metre blocks. Leah Crisp had a really strong finish in that 800, so Fleur's going to have to either take it out or be close to her if she's in with a chance tonight.
So taking out is the advice from triple Olympian, double Olympic finalist in that 400 medley, Amy Wilmot. It's been great fun working with you this week, I have to say. We'll talk about that in a minute. So the final heat of the women's 1500 metres freestyle. 7 heats in total. We had 3 heats this morning, another 3 heats in the afternoon session this afternoon for the slightly slower heats, and now this is the final heat, and gone off pretty quickly. Down in lane number 1 is Amber Keegan of City of Sheffield. She was 5th in the 800, 8th in the 400, so 8th in the 4, 5th in the 8. So it seems like as the races get longer, she gets better. The red hat down there in lane number 1 lane closer to us, Anya Priest in lane 0 of Nova Centurion.
Yeah, Amber's had a very busy programme. We saw her in the 400 individual medley as well. I think she may have even done the 200 freestyle at the beginning of the week. So last one for her is 1500. Not an easy one when you're tired, but she looks really nice here. It's only the beginning, and the race is obviously 30 lengths of this pool. So, yeah, fingers crossed she can keep up this pace, but she looks nice here at the start.
That's 95 metres right there. Look how far she is ahead of the rest of the field. This is amazing first 100. 62.4 for Amber Keegan of Sheffield, and 65 for the fastest seeds in the middle. So she's 3 seconds ahead of the fastest seeds on the first 100 metres of a 1500 metres freestyle.
Yeah, it's just a very quick first 100 split for me. I hope Amber can keep this up, but Anya Priest has really gone with her in lane 0, and hopefully she is not getting too excited and is pacing herself off Amber, because the rest of the field are a little bit further back.
Well, this is pretty incredible, I have to say. We did see in the 200 metres backstroke in the heats this morning, somebody went off like a shot in the same heat as Luke Greenbank and was about 10 metres ahead of Luke Greenbank at the 100 metres, but in actual fact, touched with his hand. I think he was doing a time trial for the 100 metres. Then he completely stopped and just floated for 100. I don't think she's doing that, though, here. Look at this. This is coming into the 200 metres turn. Look how far ahead she is.
Yeah, she's really flying here, and she's going to turn pretty quick as she gets her feet over on the wall there. 2:07.83, so she split 62 and then 65 in the first 200 metres of this race.
Wow, well, this is going to be really, really interesting. Her lifetime best is 17:08, and in the middle, there's some lifetime bests of 16:30s and 16:40s, so the women in the middle have got lifetime best 30 seconds faster than her, but Amber Keegan gone off. It's brave. I have to say, though, she does look really good.
Yeah, we're getting excited. And really, at the beginning of this race, she does look good, but 1500 is such a long way, and all of a sudden you can go from feeling really good and swimming really well to, oh dear, my legs are falling off, my arms are starting to hurt, and you almost go backwards. So as we say, if Amber can keep this up, she's going to have a fantastic swim.
Well, also look right at the bottom in lane 0, Anya Priest of Nova Centurion. She's a good 4 or 5 meters ahead of the fastest seeds in the center as well. So will be very, very interesting to see how this pans out. But the leader is in lane number 1, Amber Keegan of City of Sheffield, 3:13.94. So she is still, well, a good way ahead. She's now about 10 seconds ahead of the swimmers inside her. That's amazing.
Yeah, an awful big lead from her there. Usually we'd see swimmers start to maybe make a move in the middle 500 and pull away from the rest of the girls, but Amber seems to have done that right from the go, and she's still looking really nice and smooth here. She's not overusing her legs. She seems quite nice and controlled, so she does look really comfortable even in the early stages of this race.
Well, one of the fascinating things for me here is that she's already swum a 400 free and an 800 free, was 8th on the 4, 5th on the 800, and here she really has gone off very, very fast indeed, and still looks comfortable, still looks good. It's a good leg kick, it's not excessive at all. It looks like a stroke that she may well be able to keep going here.
Yeah, she does have quite a high turnover, so she has quite a high stroke rate in comparison to the 3 girls in the centre, but some swimmers prefer that. We see some of the world's best swimmers, so Gregorio Paltineri has a really quick and high stroke rate in comparison to if you look at Romanchuk. So these swimmers tend to have different techniques on the freestyle, but she looks really nice and long.
Well, she does look good. Also going well still down at the bottom, though she's starting to get reeled in by the swimmer in lane 5. That's the champion on the 800 meters freestyle. That's Leah Crisp. But no doubt about the leader. And look at this, over first again. It is in lane number 1, Amber Keegan of the City of Sheffield. And let's see, she went to 4:54. Oh, they're starting to catch her up a little bit now. The lead is now only 8 seconds, but it is only 8 seconds. It was 10 for a while. Now it's 8. So are they starting to catch up? I've got to tell you, it does look like it's extending, though.
Yeah, Leah in the centre there. We saw her in the 800 really use that middle part of her race, and she almost changed up a gear, started bringing in her legs a little bit. So with 20 laps to go, it looks like Leah's maybe starting to bring in a little bit of those legs, maybe trying to shake off the 2 girls in 4 and 3.
Amy, the splits, though, were quite impressive. So she went 62, then she went 65, 66.1, 66.8. So she was getting slower to the 400. She's just put in a 66.7. So now she's starting to hold pace. And if she can keep that going, it's going to be mighty hard for the other women to catch her up. At the moment, it is in 5, Leah Crisp leading that charge, because I think Leah has just overtaken the swimmer in lane 0, Anya Priest of Nova Centurion. So there is the charge. The leader of that, if the charge is Leah Crisp. She was the gold medalist on the 800 meters freestyle, 5th on the 400, prefers the distance. And then in lane number 4, Fleur Lewis still going well. But this is impressive so far. This is the 600 meter turn.
Yeah, Amber almost looks like she is extending her lead. She's stretching out, kind of looking around to make sure she's still far enough ahead, but I don't think she'll have to worry for a few lengths now. So she turns there in a time of 6:34.66. And Leah's going to turn in 6:43.94. So she's still 9 seconds clear of the rest of the field.
Well, she has extended it again because it came into 8. But now it's 9 seconds again, but that one a little bit slower, just 0.4 of a second slower. So the last 3 have been 66.8, 66.7, very good, and then 67.1.
Yeah, you want to try and dig in now and really hold that pace. If you have gone too hard at the beginning, this middle 500 is where it really starts to show, and you want to be holding that even, consistent pace, not really dropping off, because if you're thinking about making a move on maybe the last 200-300, if you've used too much energy at the beginning, you don't really have a lot to go to in your legs in particular in the last few 100 meters of the race. So if Amber can just hold this time now rather than start dropping, she's going to be in a really good position as she finishes the swim.
Well, she's looking very, very good at the moment. I was just trying to find out what what time she did on the 800. That's the 700 meters turn, 7:42.26. So that one's a 67 again, 67.6. So she is getting slower, but she's still holding a really good lead and getting slower, a little bit, maybe half a second slow on that 100 from the previous one. So 66.8, 66.7, very good. And then 67.1, 67.6, just falling off a little bit of the pace, but still way ahead.
Yeah, she's just having a look there at the end of the lane. She comes in, so the officials at the end of the lane can hold what's called almost like a lap counter. So the athletes may get a little bit confused, especially in these longer distances. So that lap counter there just reassures them and lets them know how many lengths of this race they have left to swim.
So this is the 800 meters turn, and well, I can tell you that the fastest swim from the earlier heats was 17:03 from Amy Hood. That's a good swim. So Amber Keegan 8:50.5. So that's a 68.3. So she is dropping, and she's dropping about half a second per 100, getting a little slower by about half a second per 100.
Yeah, but there's still 9 seconds between her and the rest of the field. So even though Amber's tiring, Leah and Fleur in the centre there are also suffering a little bit. But it's great to see these girls swimming on their own, especially Amber. She's obviously got a target in mind and a time that she wants to do. So she's really gone from that from the beginning, and she's not relying on these other girls to pace off.
Well, I'll tell you something quite extraordinary here, Amy, because I've just looked up the time that Amber Keegan did in the 800 meters freestyle, obviously off a flat touching to her hand, and she just split here 8 minutes 50.5 at the 800. Her time on the individual 800, 8:53.8. So she's just split 3.3 seconds faster to her feet at the 800 meter mark. Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah, really interesting. We saw a swimmer this morning almost go out for a time trial, so whether Amber wasn't slightly happy with her 800 split and thought, I'm just going to see how fast I can go to this 800 and then hopefully carry on and carry that momentum for the next 700. And it is a long way, but sometimes when you're on that, when you've got that adrenaline and you know you're swimming well, she's maybe had a quick sneaky look at the scoreboard over her shoulder to see what time she's splitting. She'll just use that and she'll just keep going in this last part of this race.
Well, they are now starting to eat into that lead. It was 8 seconds, then it went up to 10 seconds, now it's 7 seconds. But it's still a decent lead, you know, it really is. And they've got 11 lengths to go there, so that's 550 meters to go. And it's still quite a long way, but these women chasing need to really do some work, because the lead for Amber Keegan is quite considerable, but they're working together in the centre lanes, lanes 4 and 5. You can just see closer to us of those two centre swimmers is Fleur Lewis, the fastest seed silver medalist on the 800 metres freestyle, and Leah Crisp in the upper of those two yellow lanes, the second fastest seed coming in, the champion on the 800 free from Bath National Centre. So first over at the 900 metre mark, and that is 11:06.
Yeah, really interesting there to see Fleur just sneak that second position at the turn here. She's really built through this 900 to 1,000 metre mark, and she's probably thinking, right, the last 500 metres is the time now where I'm really going to move. And both of these girls in the black hats do look really comfortable, but it still is Amber Keegan in lane 1 leading this race.
Well, lucky I'm not counting, because I think that was actually the 1,000 metre turn. So that's 1,050, and they've got 9 lengths to go at that turn. So let's see what the lead is. It's now, oh, it's gone down to 6 seconds. So they're eating about 1 second per 100 into this lead, but it's still quite considerable, isn't it?
Yeah, both of these girls trying to come back. They may have no idea that Amber on the outside here in lane 1 has gone off like a rocket from the beginning. So Fleur Lewis really starting to dig in now, and she's pulling away slightly from Leah Crisp with 400 metres to go.
So 8 lengths left in this final heat of the women's 1,500 metres freestyle. Let's look at the time. It was 12:14.5, and the second swimmer's turned in 12:21. So it's still 7 seconds. So she's holding it pretty well at the moment, and trying to charge now is Fleur Lewis, but Fleur looking a little bit tired, breathing every 4s, which is pretty disciplined. 4s and then 2s as she now. It's back to 2s again. And in third place is Leah Crisp in lane number 5. Fourth up there in lane number 7, it is Emily Clark of Loughborough University. Fifth in 3 is Michaela Glenister of Stirling.
Yeah, these swimmers here, Fleur really is almost taking that swim to the next step. With 300 metres to go here, we might even see some of these swimmers start to increase that leg kick a little bit more. They want to be thinking about building into this turn, not necessarily waiting until the last 100 metres just to turn their legs on and make their move, because sometimes it's too late and swimmers find that they have too much energy to give. So it's good to see Fleur in particular in lane 4 there really start to wind this up, and she's almost building through this last 500 metres.
Well, they are definitely starting to catch now, and she's starting to look a little bit tired. The stroke's getting slightly shorter, and there is the hunter. That is in lane number 4. That's Fleur Lewis of Barnet, and she looks a little bit fresher than the swimmer down in lane number 1, Amber Keegan of City of Sheffield. And Amber is definitely getting caught up now. Oh, it would be such a shame if she does get caught, because she's done so much hard work in this final of the 1,500 metres freestyle, the final heat. She's got 5 lengths left, just 250 metres to go. It's still a good lead, though. Fleur Lewis over second.
Third is Leah Crisp there. And just behind her in 4th is Emily Clark up in lane 7.
Thank you, Amy. Just swallowed a frog, I'm afraid, but there we go, back on it. So Amber Keegan is in lane number 1 and looking good still, but the chase is on, and it's very much on. 4 lengths to go at this turn, 200 left in this final heat of the 1,500 metres freestyle. 14:30.8, so it's a 4-second lead now. It's come down from 10 to 4 seconds. I'm not sure there's enough space left, though. She's really going to have to sprint in the second. There is the chaser. That is Fleur Lewis of Barnet. Drop now is Leah Crisp in 5, the champion on the 800 metres freestyle, and Fleur Lewis, the silver on the 800, because she swam it well, but has she left it too late? She's chasing hard.
Yeah, she may not have seen Amber there in lane 1 go off from the beginning, and Fleur does look really comfortable here. She's holding that technique, her head's really still, and there's now 3 seconds with 3 lengths to go. So if she keeps this up, it'll be really close into the finish.
It certainly will. It was 4 seconds with 4 lengths to go. It was a 3-second lead with 3 lengths to go. And her teammates really trying to push her on now. Let's see how many seconds it's going to be in a lead with 2 lengths to go. Almost preempting it. Is it going to be 2? She's looking good, though. She's got 100 to go, and here's the bell. Amy, what's going to happen? Who's going to get this?
Oh, I don't know. I think Fleur's going to come back, and she might just get it. When you're the swimmer behind and you know you're catching, and you're catching by that amount, you do just sometimes get this massive buzz of adrenaline. And when you're on that wave, kind of anything can carry you through, no matter how much you're hurting and no matter how much pain you're in. But Amber is still digging in. She's seen Fleur there across the pool, and both of these girls are starting to go to their legs now.
Well, what has she got left here, Amber Keegan? It's been a super swim. She had 4-second lead with 4 lengths to go. 3-second lead with 3 lengths to go. It's just 1.5 with 2. And I'm afraid to tell you, Amber, that you've just got overtaken 0.3 of a second. It's still utterly brilliant. She's in lane 1. Now she's going to her legs. It's not over yet.
No, both of these girls sort of breathing towards the centre lanes there, almost looking at each other to see what's going on. But Fleur Lewis now breathing to the other side in a nice pattern as she comes into the last 15 metres of this race.
Well, it's a really good swim indeed. Perfectly paced from Fleur Lewis, the silver medalist on the 800 metres freestyle, is now the British national champion in 2022 on the 15. A really gutsy swim from lane number 1. Well done. What a wonderful swim. What a really, really gutsy performance for Amber Keegan of City of Sheffield. Her lifetime best was 17:07, and she's just gone in lane number 1, 16:48. So she's got a 19-second lifetime best. Brilliant swimming that was. In 3rd place, the 3rd finisher, Leah Crisp of Bath National Centre, just ahead of the time that Amy Hood set in a previous heat. So she will be 3rd. Emily Clark in 4th. And I think Amy Hood will end up being 5th on one of those earlier heats.
Yeah, Amber there, so gutted for her just to get pipped to the finish, but she seems happy enough, and she's blowing kisses to her teammates here in the stands just behind us. But when you come in with an entry time of 17:07, and you swim a time of 16:48.33, even if you come second, there's still something to smile about.
Well, it certainly is, because she would have come 5th with her lifetime best. She's just got a silver medal at the National Championships. There is the winner, though. And I have to say, from a tactical point of view, she swam it perfectly, comfortable to 500. Started working, started the chase at the 1,000, and really reeled them in. Fleur Lewis, national champion, women's 1,500 metres freestyle, 16:45. Super swim from Amber Keegan in lane 1, 16:48. And Leah Crispin third. And John, let's hear what he's got to say to the winner.
Fleur, congratulations. What a finish to that race. Could you feel, see Amber out there in lane 1?
Yeah, I saw him from the start, and I kind of just trusted my training and knowing that I could catch her up afterwards, but it was a tough race, so well done to her.
I mean, it was you were 10 seconds back at one point.
Yeah.
Is it tough sort of going into that and just, like you say, trusting that race plan and trusting what you could do? Because there's a lot of work to do at the end of a race.
Yeah. That's normally how I swim most of my races, so I'm kind of used to it by now, but my main focus is probably to try to go out a bit faster than what I did then, so there's more to come, I guess.
Yeah, and it makes it exciting, right? I'm assuming to race as well as to watch.
Yeah.
Look, that was your first British title. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a way to start the night. Please give it up for your new British champion, Fleur Lewis.
Thanks.
Well done, my darling, honestly.
Well, it was a tactical masterclass, really, wasn't it, Amy?
Yeah, all smiles from her there. She finishes first, and as we say, and as she says, her first British Championship title. So very, very well done for Fleur Lewis.
Well, from the longest race in the women's programme to the shortest one on the men's, we've had 50s fly back, or a 50s back breast and freestyle so far at these championships. On the final evening, it's the turn of the men in the 50 metres butterfly. There are 4 finals: the junior final, then the priority Paris final for swimmers born 2001 and younger, and then swimmers ranked 9 through 16 after the heats this morning in the B final, and then the B final, the A final for the top guys. And well, look at this, right in the centre, Alexander Painter was in the big final of the 50 metres freestyle and swam really well there. Did a European consideration time, and he's got some serious speed in lane number 4.
Yeah, I'm sure this event isn't a qualification event, but if you're on the team and you've made a time in another event, if you are the fastest junior, you might also get to swim this. So he'll be wanting to put in a good performance here and hopefully get his hand on the wall first.
Swam a lifetime best to qualify from Millfield School, 25:46 that was. See how close to 25 he can get here. The junior final, the men's 50 fly. And in lane 4, in the white hat of Millfield School, first up. And he came up about 12 metres, and he looks good in the centre.
Yeah, he kept his head down for the first 3 strokes there, so he had a really smooth breakout on transition, and doing him well now coming into the last 15.
Well, they're coming back at him, though. They're coming back in 6. At the moment, it's Michael Klimaszewski of Camden Swiss Cottage. It's going to be a tight finish. I think it's going to be 4, though. Has Painter got it? Who's got the touch? It is 24.98. Well, he set a lifetime best of 25.4 to qualify. He's just knocked another half a second off his lifetime best. And he needed to win the junior final, because that was fast.
Yeah, really quick swim from there. Probably quicker than the entry time in the men's priority Paris final. So really quick swim from him. He looked really nice off the start, used that transition and that breakout, and just carried that momentum all the way to the finish. And he is our men's junior 50 metres butterfly champion.
Well, if he'd done that time, he would have actually made the B final if he'd done that in the morning. It's hard to ask much more than a half-second lifetime best, though, in the final. And again, that is what British swimming are looking for. They're looking for the juniors to step up, really have great experience, really understand what it's like to come back in a final. That's why they're putting so many finals on in the evenings, the juniors, the priority Paris, the B and the A, so we can have people like Alexander Painter of Millfield School come back and swim a half-second lifetime best.
Yeah, it just gives lots of swimmers lots of opportunities to come back in this final session. If you think you're on good form and you've swum a personal best in the heats, it's nice that you can come back and you have the opportunity, like Andy said, to come back in the evening and knock another 0.5 seconds off your personal best time, and over a 50, that's really impressive.
I'll tell you what's also really interesting, the time that was just won that previous final, the junior final, but Alexander Painter faster than all of these guys went in the heats this morning. This is meant to be a faster heat. Faster final. Wonder what they're thinking. They just watched the juniors go faster than they all went this morning.
Yeah, they'll want to try and post a quick time, and anything under sub 25.00 would be good to see these boys do.
So sub 25, the target set by Amy Wilmots, and none of them did it this morning, but I would imagine a fair few will have a crack at it. Look at the start down here in one from Chausson of Millfield School.
Yeah, really nice start. These boys now really need to be thinking about keeping that rate consistent coming into the wall.
So Stanislas Chausson of Millfield School in one, but Aaron Fox going well in the red hat up there off City of Sheffield. Has he got the touch? A little bit short, but it's a 24-7, and he wins it. Very good swim. A little bit crabby, a little bit short on the finish, so he can actually go a little bit faster as well. But Team Sheffield next to us applauding that victory in the Priority Paris final of the men's 50 fly.
Yeah, first there was the Aaron Fox there, from City of Sheffield in a time of 24.78. Just behind that, the time finishing from the Millfield swimmers, 24.97, and Ned Sharp there, third from Skipton, 25.02. And just 0.03 split, 0.02 split him and fourth, and then fourth to fifth was split by 0.03, so a really close race in the end.
Well, super close, and we've had fireworks already. The junior final one under 25 seconds. The Priority Paris final, 2 swimmers sub 25. Now we've got the B final. Now we should start seeing some serious stuff coming out. Jamie Ingram, the fastest seed in lane number 4, and Alexandra Cameron Carvalho was in the B final of the 100 meters fly. This will be really interesting. Fastest junior up in lane number 7.
Yeah, Sebastian Rose from Aberdeen there, coached by Amanda Ford. These swimmers will be looking at the times that have just happened. They've got a couple of entry times here. Centre of the lane, Jamie Ingram's 24.5 is his PB and the time he set this morning. So lots of these boys actually achieved a personal best time to make it back tonight in this B final.
Indeed they did, Amy. 6 of the 8 set a lifetime best to qualify for this B final of the men's 50 metres butterfly. Tell you what, they're not small. This is the B final. Look at the size of them. Ingram, fastest seed in 4. Alexandra Cameron Cavallo of Portsmouth in 5. Waterson of the Isle of Man in 3. The juniors up in 7. Taking a little bit of time to get still and steady, and rightly so, the starter waiting for them to be absolutely still on the blocks.
Yeah, sometimes that can throw you off, but it doesn't seem to have phased Jamie Ingram there in the centre of the pool in the black hat.
Well, Ingram is going very well. Also in 6 is Josh Gammon, but they're starting to really fly down this last 25. Who can build it up? Who can get their head down? Who can hit the wall perfectly on the end of the stroke? Oh, wow. In lane 6, I think it was. No, it was 4. Ingram got the touch, 24.31. That's a new lifetime best for him. I think I say that every time people finish. It's amazing. Josh Gammon was 2nd. Cameron Carvalho 3rd.
Yeah, really good swims from these boys. They've sailed those times beforehand, posted quick times, and Jamie in the centre there looking pretty chuffed with that swim.
Well, he needs to swim quick with a haircut like that. We did say, I hope his mum knows about it. I actually met his mum last night, and she said, yes, I did know about it. So then I challenged his dad, well, if he does well in the next one, why don't you get one as well? He did look at me slightly quizzically, I have to say. But Jamie Ingram had a great meet, really has. So, the junior final's done, the Priority Paris final is done, the B final is over, and now we've got the fastest men in Great Britain on 50 metres butterfly, and one of the fastest in history is only the 2nd fastest seed in 5.
Yeah, Ben Proud here, our British record holder at the time of 22.75. Set that in Hungary at the British Championships, and the World Championships in 2017.
And he was world champion that year, wasn't he, on that 50 metres butterfly? Amazing swim that was. Dan Jones of Swansea University goes in lane 1. And then he was 8th in the final of the 100 fly. Gregor Swinney goes in lane 7 for City of Glasgow, set a lifetime best to qualify, as did many of these swimmers.
Yeah, lane 2 here also set a personal best time this morning. So Thomas Carswell from the University of Edinburgh, and he was 7th in the 100 metres butterfly earlier in the week.
Many of these swimmers doubling up the 50 and the 100 fly. In 6th, it's Lewis Fraser. He was 5th in the 100 fly. And then 3rd fastest qualifier coming in. Adam Barrett is an interesting story.
Yeah, he's our Commonwealth bronze medalist in the 100 metres fly for Team England in 2014. And he had a couple of years off and fancied a crack at the Commonwealth Games this year.
Well, he's the 9th fastest in history in this 50 metres butterfly, the 4th fastest human on the planet in water. It is Ben Proud. He was only a silver medalist on the 50 freestyle here, though, because Lewis Burrows swam brilliantly well. And he's not the fastest seed either in this 50 fly, because this gentleman is our Olympian, Jacob Peters of Poole. Little bit of a surprise that he's gone in faster than Ben Proud.
Slightly, but he set a personal best time this morning, so he wasn't messing around and he wanted that centre lane tonight. And Jacob in the red hat there represented the, well, Team GB at the Olympics, Team England at the Commonwealth Games, and he's looking to probably get on both of those teams again this summer. Well, the world, shall I say.
But he had a good 100 fly, didn't quite make the consideration time for that World Championship team, but he swam well. He went 51.9 on the 100 fly to get the silver. James Guy beats him, but I just wonder whether they might take a little bit of cover for that fly leg of the medley relay and maybe the mixed medley relay.
Yeah, sometimes they do, and with our medal relay, well, with our relays having the opportunity to win so many medals, the selectors might use that as an option.
Look at that tattoo. Well, if you go to the Olympics, you're allowed to do that. Look at that. Olympic rings right in the centre, and that's an absolute cracker there. That is Jacob Peters, the fastest seed, but 1 lane to his right in 5 in the black suit and the black hat. He really is the class of this field, the British record holder, world champion in 17. It is Ben Proud in 5, it's Peters in 4, it's Adam Barrett in 3, the final of the men's 50 fly.
Yeah, Ben Proud having a really good start here, but also down in lane 1, Daniel Jones.
Well, he does no breather here. Ben Proud, normally, if he does a good swim, he goes no breather, and he's still got head down. He's got 10 metres to go. He's starting to tie up a little bit, though. He's not fully rested yet, but if he hits the finish here, he's going to get the gold. Yes, he does. 23.09. Well, it was a good swim, that's a no breather from our new champion in the men's 50 metres butterfly, Ben Proud of University of Bath, coached by Mark Skimmings now here in Bath. And that was a good swim, pretty solid, no fireworks really. He can go faster than that, but it looked very impressive.
Yeah, it did. It looked nice and comfortable from him there, and he spotted the wall perfectly and dropped 0.6 from his time this morning. Jacob Peters in 2nd, set another personal best time. So in the heats this morning, he went 23.61, and he's just took another 0.2 off that.
Well, I can tell you it's the fastest time in the world this year. Only Florent Manadou's gone 2nd. He's 23.3. So the fastest time in the world this year set by Ben Proud of Bath University to win the men's 50 metres butterfly. Peters 2nd. Adam Barrett was 3rd. Number 1 in the world. And he can go much faster. He's not even rested yet. Let's hear what he's got to say to John Mason.
Ben, congratulations. It was looking good. The last time I saw you, Abu Dhabi, being crowned world champion there in December for short course. That was looking good for long course this early on.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it's been a great year. Back at the end of last year was fun. Lots of racing, now just building through. Like I'm sure so many people have said, after the Olympics it's a bit turbulent, but you know, the crew at Bath University, Mark Skimmings, everyone, been really good to kind of get me through. Yeah. Start to build up emotions. Yeah, and head into this summer, which is going to be a fun one.
It's going to be amazing. And I know it was in Budapest in 2017. You were crowned world champion in this event. We're obviously going back to Duna. You've got to be excited to get back in that pool, right? Yeah,
I mean, 50 butterfly is my passion. It's what I love. So I'm looking forward to going back to St. Paul.
It'll be amazing. Well, look, 6 times you've had a British champion in this event. Congratulations. It's awesome to see you back here. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for your new British champion, Benjamin Proud.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to see Ben there talk about not being rested, and it doesn't look like he's shaved down. Strange that you notice those things in swimmers, but when you're used to seeing swimmers that have shaved down, maybe had a little bit of a tidy up here and there, it's interesting when you see swimmers come to the British Championships and Ben there looking like he hasn't really come here in full swing and fully prepared.
Well, he is in fantastic shape. I've got to say, every time you see the guy, he's in fantastic shape. Interesting, you did notice little details like that, though, Amy.
They become such an important thing, and especially some of the sprinters. Look, you're putting me in a bad light here.
Not at all. Not at all. Of course it does. No, I was just observing. It's lovely to have you here, picking up the little details on things like that. It's very, very important.
Yeah, there's Abby Wood giving us a little wave and a little smile.
I love the reaction. Everyone has a slightly different reaction, don't they? Some just completely ignore it, just not involved at all, and some, they smile quite a lot. They'll be in the B final, the A final, and the Priority Paris final. But the first up is the women's junior final in this 100 metres breaststroke. Charlotte Bianchi of the city of Sheffield, the fastest seed in 4, and Lara Thompson, she was in the big final, 7th in the big final in the 400 IM, and did a European junior qualification time there, so the consideration time done, so barring any major issues, she'll be on the plane to the European juniors.
Yeah, it'd be good to see some of these swimmers double up, and Charlotte Bianchi there in the centre was our 200 breaststroke junior champion as well, so it'd be a really close race between these girls in 3 to 5.
The junior final of the women's 100 breaststroke. Fastest seed is Bianchi in 4, Thompson in 5, Collier in 6. So 2 lengths breaststroke, and the best start it is indeed. It's Lara Thompson, the 17-year-old, a really good swim from the start from the city of Leeds in there, but it's pretty even now down this first 25.
Yeah, especially in breaststroke swimming, it's really important to stay nice and relaxed, and all these girls transition nicely from their underwater phase into their breakout, and we're not seeing a lot of high rates coming down this first 50.
And Collier going well in lane number 6 in that blue hat for Swansea Aquatics. And how does she hit her turn? Right on the end of the stroke, a little bit of a glide, but it wasn't bad at all. Let's hope she didn't lose momentum. She actually was round the wall well. Also going really well down the bottom here is Bowley of Repton in 2 and Kirscher of Hackney Aquatics in 3.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot splitting these girls this morning. I think it was 0.3 between our fastest seed and our slowest seed here in tonight's final. So no wonder it's close as we come into the finish.
Well, it's very close indeed, isn't it? Charlotte Bianchi in 4, and the closer to us of those yellow lanes in the centre. And in 6, it's Collier of Swansea. These two, Bianchi in 4, Collier in 6. Looks like Bianchi's second 50 metres is very good indeed. She's got it. 1:12.19 from Charlotte Bianchi, a 0.6 second lifetime best for her to win the junior final of the women's 100 metres breaststroke. Great swim.
Yeah, really nice swim from her. We knew she'd be capable of coming back strong in that second 50 with her being the 200 metre breaststroke champion. So nice to see her get the win there.
Well, it's very impressive. Charlotte Bianchi wins it. 1:12.19, 6/10 of a second lifetime best. Collier second, Hardy third, Thompson fourth. So that's the junior final. The next one, the Priority Paris final. And Maya Hall is the fastest seed in lane number 4. Emma Adat-File of Guildford was second in the Priority Paris final, the 200. Coming down from the 200 to the 100. Will be very interesting to see how she does in this.
Yeah, a lot of these girls have swam both of the events. We either see breaststroke swimmers that are 50 and 100 specialists, like we've got coming up in our final, or we see girls that tend to prefer the 100 and 200 metres breaststroke. So it's nice to see swimmers having the opportunity to make both of these finals, and that's a really good thing about having our 4 final options for these girls to come back and make and hopefully improve on from what they did this morning.
Well, there's 2 juniors in this Priority Paris final. They're in lanes 2 and 5. And we'll just keep an eye out for the qualification standard for that European Junior Championships on this 100 metres breaststroke. Time is 1:10.03. It's a big ask, I have to say. It's a very quick time, 1:10.0, but the way swimmers are swimming here, it's nothing is impossible. Good start right at the top there in lane number 8. Ailsa MacDonald of University of Edinburgh won the Priority Paris final of the 200 breaststroke, and a super start here on the 100.
Yeah, she's got a slightly higher stroke rate than some of the girls in the field, but it's really important in breaststroke swimming is to make sure that you get into streamline at the end of every stroke. So you're really squeezing your heels together, and even if you have a higher stroke rate, you're allowing yourself to get fully into streamline before you do the next stroke and then the next stroke.
Look how close it is, goodness gracious. 33.67, 33.81, 990.07. It's just really close on that 50 turn.
Yeah, super close, but Emily Farr took the first of the turn there, 33.67.
And still very close coming down, and Emily's holding on well right at the bottom there. She really is doing well. Emily Farr from City of Leicester. It looks like maybe now up in lanes 5 and 7 though. Emma Allat-File, and in 7, O'Reilly of City of Leicester. And those two, maybe it's Karis O'Reilly in 7. Let's see who gets the touch. Coming back in the last 5 metres, Emma Allat-File of Guildford, and she gets the touch. 1:11.55. Second, Karis O'Reilly, 1:11.61. So 6 100s splitting the first two, really close.
Yeah, and she looks almost shocked with that swim, but obviously happy. 0.9 under her lifetime best there, so really good swim from Emma Allat-File, and she had a really nice last 50. She kept building, and she spotted the wall perfectly.
Well, in the end, she was only 1.5 seconds outside the qualification standard for the juniors, and that's really good because she was 3 seconds before today. So that's a great swim from her. Allat-File wins it, O'Reilly second. Third was Beth Young, fourth Maya Hoare, fifth Emily Farr of Leicester. So the B final of this women's 100 metres breaststroke, and there's some quick women in here as well, particularly down the first 50. Expect Katie Goodburn to go out fast in lane number 5 for the University of Edinburgh.
Yeah, her and her teammate Katie Robinson just above her after those Scottish Commonwealth Games consideration times.
So in lane number 5, here she is. She was 4th on the 50 metres breaststroke, Katie Goodburn of Edinburgh, and her teammate in 6, Katie Robertson, was 8th in the 200. So 50 meets 200 in 5 and 6. And Sophie King in lane number 4, the fastest seed, going into this, the B final of the women's 100 metres breaststroke. So swimmers ranked 9 through 16 from the heats this morning in this B final of the women's 100 metres breaststroke. Sophie King right in the centre in 4, in the white hat, the fastest seed. But probably the best start, certainly the best 25 metres, coming from Katie Goodburn, 4th on the 50. So I expect she would go out quickly.
Yeah, interesting to see her there, even though she's quite quick down this 50. She's really diving forwards at the end of each stroke. Not necessarily down, but she's using that momentum to drive her forwards, and comes into the turn here. Second, sorry. Kiara Fletcher just stole that from her in a 33.04.
Well, Kiara in lane number 3, but up there in fine, had a really good 5, had a really good turn. That's Katie Goodburn. And compare the two different strokes from the two University of Edinburgh swimmers in 5 and 6. The leader in 5 just with a black hat, almost repping twice as fast stroke rate as Katie Robinson in 6.
Yeah, a lot higher stroke rate there than her teammate just above her, but these girls now starting to really tie as they come into the last 15.
And Robertson increasing her stroke rate in 6 as she comes into the last 10 metres. It's going to be really tight. Who's going to get the touch on the stretch? It is in lane 5, Katie Goodburn led from the start, and University of Edinburgh go 1-2, and there's 1/100th of a second between the two Katies from University of Edinburgh. Goodness me, Katie Goodburn wins it in a time of 1:10.80, and Katie Robertson of same University of Edinburgh, 1:10.81.
Yeah, Katie Goodburn there, equaling her PB exactly to the 10th. Finishes in a 1:10.80. And Katie Robinson, 0.01 behind her. And Kiara Fletcher, 0.01 behind second in a time of 1:10.82. So super close swim there from those girls, and nothing splitting them into the finish.
Well, absent a tie, that's the closest it could possibly get for the 1, 2, 3. 2 100s splitting the first 3 swimmers. Thank goodness for electronic timing.
Yeah, you wouldn't like to call that race from the naked eye because you'd have absolutely no idea who got that finish.
So that was the B final of the women's 100 metres breaststroke. Now we have the A final. And the fastest seed is Cara Hanlon, but there's some really quick swimmers around her. And Abby Wood in lane number 1. She's had a really big programme, particularly given the fact that she's had mono, she's had glandular fever. This is her 10th race at this championships.
Yeah, and we knew she wanted to come here, and she kept saying that she just wants to put 10 solid performances in. So outside smoker in lane 1, Abby's definitely not one to forget about in this 100 metres breaststroke.
It'll be interesting to see how Lily Booker does as well. Recently joined Dave Hemmings' training squad at the Loughborough National Centre. She's in lane number 2, next to her training partner, Abby Wood, in 1. Wood already won 3 national titles, the 200 free, the 200 medley, and the 200 breaststroke. And in lane 3, next to Lily Booker, is Imogen Clark. Won the 100 in a really impressive swim.
Yeah, she had a really nice swim this morning in the heat, probably surprised herself, and she is our 50-metre breaststroke British record holder and our winner on day 1. So we imagine she'll be really quick down the first length.
Yes, I think I said she won the 100. This is the 100, of course. She won the 50 in a really impressive swim. Cara Hanlon of University of Edinburgh, the fastest seed in 4. Here she is. And just seen her teammates go 1-2 in the B final. And I'm sure she'll be looking to do something special here and try and emulate that. Sarah Vasey goes in 5. Another Mel Marshall breaststroker from Loughborough National Centre in 5. And Kayla van der Merwe of Winchester in 6.
Yeah, and in 7 we have Laura Kinley, in 8 we have Beth Dennis. So all these girls capable of going sub-10 on paper and their personal best times. So be good to see them shift it on a little bit from this morning, especially in those outside lanes.
Well, the World Championship consideration time really fast, 106.4. And the British record, actually held by Molly Renshaw, 106.2. So they've basically got to get within 21 100ths of the British record just to make the consideration time for the World Champs. The big final, the A final of the women's 100 breaststroke, and Cara Hanlon of University of Edinburgh, the fastest seed in lane 4. But look at the start in Imogen Clark in 3.
Yeah, really good start from Imogen. We expected her to be fast down this first 50, so I think it's going to be a battle of the second 50 for these girls. And Cara Hanlon's got the ability to come back really well, being a 200 swimmer, and we can't forget about Sarah Vasey just above her.
Well, they are going very fast down this first 50. I suppose we'd expect Imogen Clark to do so because she did win the 50 metres breaststroke in a super time, just outside the British record, 30.10, and she's gone off like a shot.
Yeah, she had a really nice turn there. She was super low to the wall, didn't waste any energy, and she was in and out in a really quick split second.
Well, this looks very, very good from Imogen. If she can keep this going, it's going to be a really fast time. Cara Hanlon charging, though, now, charging for Edinburgh University. The black hat in the centre there really is charging. Vasey coming back as well in 5, so it's 3, 4 and 5. Clark, Hanlon, Vasey, and it's going to be super close. Who's going to get the touch inside this last 5? Can't tell right now who's got the touch. It is in lane number 4, Cara Hanlon of Edinburgh University. 67.52, 8 100ths ahead of Sarah Vasey, who was then 3 100ths ahead of Imogen Clark. What a race that was.
Yeah, that looked like it hurt Imogen there coming down the last 25, but fantastic swim for Cara Hanlon. She swam the 50, she swam the 200. She's now done a personal best time in the 100 metres breaststroke here, and the time she set of 67.52 is 0.2 seconds under that Scottish Commonwealth Games consideration time. So really good swim from her. No wonder she's happy.
No kidding. It is a consideration time, but highly, highly, highly likely, we would say, to make that Commonwealth Games team when it's selected. And that's a super swim. Look at the smile. Well done. Lovely to see swimmers come here, perform at their best. And a really great swim, a new lifetime best for her by 12/100ths of a second to win the A final of the women's 100 metres breaststroke. Cara Hanlon wins it, Sarah Vasey second, Imogen Clark third, and yet another super tight swim. 0.08 of a second splits 1 and 2, and 3/100ths 2 and 3. Amazing swim.
Wow, Cara, what a race. I mean, that was such an incredible finish. All top 3 girls within essentially 0.1 of each other. Bronze medal last year, now you got the gold.
Yeah. I mean, I knew it was going to be a close race. All those girls, I knew they'd be coming back at me, so just gave it my all.
And you've got the team in. I think they're probably the loudest team in here. Yeah, so talk us through that, you know, that race. It's very, very fast, 100-meter breaststroke. You're going in there, you've got your own race plan. Everything obviously went according to plan. With those girls next to you, how do you stay in your own head?
I mean, I know that Imogen and Sarah obviously go out pretty quickly, so I just try my best to stay with them and then hopefully, you know, come down the last 25 and hold my stroke.
And your week is now over and done with. How are you feeling? You enjoyed the championships?
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's always a long wait to that 100 breast on the last day. But yeah, I'm chuffed with that.
And definitely worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for your new British champion, Cara Hanlon.
Yeah, nice to see Cara there, chuffed with that swim. And as she said, it is a long time to hang around to perform up until day 6. So to swim the 50, I think it was, on day 1, the 100 in the middle of the week, and then wait until day 6. Sorry, the 200 in the middle of the week, and then wait until day 6 to swim her preferred event / the middle distance of the 2 is not easy to stay in great shape.
Well, it's also fantastic to see all these spectators enjoying such great racing. What a cracking race that was. It really was amazing how quickly in lane number 3 Imogen Clark went out and just got pipped at the end. But a fabulous race it was. And really great to see spectators back in. There's Craig McNally in the core room. Well, he's in the corner of the core room there, right out the way, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks like he's keeping right out the way there. He's in the coming up in the last heat of this men's 200-meter backstroke, which is what we've got next.
I think he thought he got away with it standing on the edge, but not a chance, mate. He'll be in the big final coming up fairly shortly. But this, the men's 200 meters backstroke. And Craig McNally will be in lane number 7. He won the B final of the 100 meters backstroke, but the junior final of this men's 200 meters backstroke. And it must be wonderful for the juniors to come here. And if you are a backstroker, to come here to this meet, to this British Championships in 2022, and be swimming in the same event, the same set of finals as Britain's wonderful Olympic bronze medalist Luke Greenbank, who goes in this the A final in 4 races' time.
Yeah, the opportunity for the youngsters here, and especially the junior swimmers, has been so good. They've had chance to swim well in the heats. We've had numerous people in the heat sessions drop 2, 3 or 4 seconds, and it seems like the longer the distance, the more time they drop. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 personal best times already this morning coming into this junior 200 meters backstroke final.
Well, it's really exciting to be here and see the quality of racing that's happening. It's not just times, it's really just the way they're going about it. They haven't been in the pool, these juniors, for 3 years. Not in the British National Championships pool. And they're coming here and knocking lumps out of lifetime bests, season's best. Some really great swimming, a great start up there in lanes 6 and 8 in this junior final of the men's 200 backstroke. In 6, Bunhi of Deventio. In 8, Dutoft of Guildford.
Yeah, we've got lane 3 here. Fergus Thompson, is also one of our potentials for the European Youth Olympic team. So the fastest European Youth Olympic swimmer in the 200s will be considered for the team this summer, and then the fastest 400 individual medley swimmer, and then they'll fill the team up from there. So it's great that these swimmers have the opportunity to swim with some of these older swimmers in the finals, and the junior final just gives them an extra opportunity to be able to do that.
Been interesting to watch Isaac Dodd's backstroke here. He was comfortable to 100, but then has moved it on quite hard down this second 50. It looked a very purposeful move at the 50 metres turn, and he's turning first, 60.77, 60.93 for Adam Graham, turning second. Fergus Thompson of Mount Kelly third, but a really good first 125 metres from the leader at the moment, Isaac Dodds, with Adam Graham chasing him from Millfield.
Yeah, Adam Graham here has just started to increase his stroke rate. He's trying to keep those hips nice and high, and his legs are just slowly starting to come in.
Well, this is really fascinating, isn't it? They're going to turn almost together. The white hats of Adam Graham are these two leaders. That last 25 metres of that third 50, very good, and a decent turn, but a better turn from Isaac Dodds in the black hat.
Yeah, this is the part of the race where it really starts to sting, especially in 200 backstroke. Super hard to master that hypoxic turn and then carry the momentum down the last length. So you're just digging in and trying to find anything that you might have left.
Well, Adam Graham swam a really good race here. He's starting to turn over much faster. He's increased the pace of his stroke. His kicks got stronger as well. And Adam Graham looks very good from Millfield School. This is a good swim. 2:04.98. His lifetime best was 2:07. Doesn't bother with 2:06s, doesn't even bother with 2:05s. Straight to 2:04.98. That's amazing.
I think he looks just as shocked as we did up here in the commentary. Really good swim from him there. Incredible finish, stuck to his race plan and just built and used his strengths coming into the wall there. And Adam Graham takes the junior 200 backstroke final in a time of 2:04.98.
Well, that was a really great swim. I wonder what they're going to do from a goal-setting perspective now. You go into the race with a lifetime best of 2:07, and you go 2:04.
Yeah, him, Adam and Finlay, all their 1, 2 and 3, dropped 3 seconds, I think, each on their personal best time. So really good swimming from them, and they clearly pushed each other right up into the finish.
Wow. Still reeling from that, to be honest. It's quite extraordinary. 3 seconds in the national final. What's the junior final? This is the Priority Paris final for swimmers born 2001 and younger. And Robbie Hemmings of Poole, he goes in lane number 4 as the fastest seed. There's some great swimmers in this. A lot of juniors. The juniors in 2, 3, 4, 5 and 8.
Yeah, the time that they're looking for to be considered for the European Juniors is 2:02.22. So an extremely fast time, and already lots of these boys this morning dropped a personal best.
You can just see that little black ledge, which is a piece of plastic that hangs down from the blocks, hangs down on those black ribbons. You can put your feet on it to make sure you don't slip. So when you come up in the starting position and then drive forwards, you don't slip. That's the theory. And in practice, it's worked rather well for Robbie Hemmings of Poole right in the centre. Really good start from him, the yellow hat.
Yeah, both him and Zach Speakman there at the top of the screen in lane 6 had a good start. So you want to get off to a nice start in the 200 metres backstroke, but it doesn't want to cost you too much. And what I mean by that is your energy consumption doesn't want to be too high, so that you've got enough legs and you've got enough catch to really dig in coming into the last sort of 75 metres of the race.
Well, Millfield having a very good evening this evening, and Connor Cherrington up there in lane number 8 started very well. He started really quickly, started faster than the fastest seed in lane 4, Robbie Hemmings of Poole, and that yellow hat in the centre. Lovely, long, rangy stroke, though. It looks comfortable. So important to get to the 100 metres without working too hard on the 200 back.
Yeah, it looks really comfortable there. His hips are still nice and high, his head's quite still, and his arms and his reach is really long. So he turns here to 100 in 60.20. So just 0.2, splitting him and second there.
So it's 60.2 for Robbie Hemmings right in the centre, and Zach Speakman of University of Stirling in the white hat up there in 6, looking really good at about the 125 metre mark.
Yeah, both of these boys here just starting to increase their stroke rate a little bit. We see Robbie Hemmings there in the yellow hat has definitely done that, and Zach just above him in lane 6 is starting to bring in those legs.
So 50 metres to go, and 1/100th of a second splitting the first two. Zach Speakman and Robbie Hemmings, 1/100th, and the charge really is on who can hold their stroke the best. And it looks like Zach Speakman, the power of Speakman up in 6.
Yeah, he's increased his stroke rate even further. He's really driving now with those legs, trying to get his head back, but I think it's going to be super close as we come into the finish.
Well, I've got to tell you, he's got so much energy here. If you can just hold this out, stick your head back a little bit, stay flat. Coming back as well is Robbie Hemmings in the centre from Paul. Who gets the touch? I think Hemmings got it, he did. 2:02.67. 2:02.67 for Robbie Hemmings, and he's just outside the European Junior qualification consideration time, just by 0.4 of a second. But that was a really good swim, mainly because his lifetime best was 2:05, and he's just gone 2:02.
Yeah, really nice swimming from these boys. More personal best times, more season's best times, and Zach Speakman just coming in behind him then, 2:02.79. And Oscar Dodds is our European Youth Olympic swimmer, so slightly faster than the boys in the heat before in his age group, and he finishes third in a 2:04.22, tied with Matthew Ward from Mount Kelly.
Wow. Well, both of them did lifetime best as well. There is Brodie Williams. He goes in the final. The big final there is Luke Greenbank, our Olympic bronze medalist. Oh, he's looking quite serious, isn't he, with his Adam Peaty kit on. Look at him, he's in the zone.
Yeah, this morning he looked really nice and comfortable, and we saw him speak at the beginning of the week about how he wanted to come here and just dig in and race well, and he almost made a little bit of a mess in that in the 100, but this morning there was no doubt that he was back in this A final tonight in one of those centre lanes.
Yeah, qualifying in lane 8 was a little bit squeaky bum time, really, wasn't it? Very, very close to missing out, but then he went on and won the race. He was national champion on the 100. He goes in the race after this. Charlie Brown just back after glandular fever. He's in lane number 4, lane 5. Jacob Greenow of University of Bath. 6 is Adam of Bath National Centre. 7 was 7th on the 100 backstroke, Oliver Morgan of Birmingham. And Sam Greenbank, Luke's brother, goes in 8.
Yeah, a couple more juniors to keep an eye out for in lane 2 of Toby Hill, and 3, Jonathan Marshall. And Jonathan Marshall was our junior champion in the 100 backstroke, so we expect to see him out quite well and use that speed to his advantage in this B final of the men's 200 backstroke.
Well, there's another junior in the big final. That's Caden Edwards. He's qualified 7th fastest, so it'll be really interesting to see who's the fastest junior, whether it's one of these guys. Juniors in 2 and 3. That's Hill and Marshall. Well, they will have seen that Priority Paris final go and swim incredibly quick. Really good start up in 6 from Jonathan Adam of the Bath National Centre. Very, very good. And look at this, he's going super quick. Almost looks like he's going for a 100 metres time here. We'll have to watch it because this looks a little bit too quick for me for a start of a 200 metres backstroke.
Yeah, his turnover here is really high, and he looks like he's working super hard. And to split 26.11 on the first length of a 50 backstroke isn't slow.
Well, I'm guessing he's going for the 100 metres time. We'll have to see. I mean, if he turns around at the 100, 1, I'll be shocked, and 2, the pain is going to be off the scale. But this, let's see what he does on this 100 metres. Let's see if he can go, 56 maybe, something like that. He's looking pretty good at the moment. He's about, 5 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. I can only believe he's going to try and do a time at the 100. Touching, yes, he does. Now, stay on your front. And he's pushed, on his back, pushed off on his front, so he gets disqualified. It's not a great idea. He won 54.7, which was a really good swim, but then he pushed off on his front, so he gets disqualified.
Yeah, Charlie Brown here, though, looks really good in the centre lanes from Loughborough National Centre. He kind of took the first 100 really comfortable. We saw him not having a really high stroke rate, and he's really wound that up now off the 100-metre turn.
Well, it can put swimmers off. I hope he, I'm sure he would have done, but I hope he would have told people that he was going for time, because if you get so far ahead, it can really annoy everyone else around you and really muck their races up. But this is an impressive swim in lane number 4 from Charlie Brown, I have to say.
Yeah, considering he hasn't been too well this year, he looks like he's got a really strong back end to the swim there. So his personal best is 1:59.03. Couple of seconds quicker than his entry time this morning, but he looks like he's going to be there or thereabouts with that swim tonight.
Well, his lifetime best is just under 2 minutes. It is 1:59. He's just gone 2 minutes, 0.3, but he's only just had COVID. I can't believe he's gone as quick as that, having just gone through COVID and just come out the other side. That's a really gutsy swim. Well done for coming back so quickly and having an attack at it. And I think when he gets the chance to rest a little bit more and actually get some energy, yeah, thumbs up to Coach Dave Hemmings. That's a very, very, very good swim. It's impressive.
Yeah, really nice from him. And our junior boys, they're just outside of that consideration time of 2:02.22. So we'll have to keep an eye on Caden Edwards in lane 1 in the next heat.
So I think there will be a disqualification, and it will be the chap who did the time trial. Yeah, there we go, Jonathan Adam. You can do it, and it's not a bad idea, but if you want your time to stand, you've just got to make sure that you stay on your back, because at the end of the day, it is backstroke. There's a clue in the word, it's backstroke. And as long as you do touch the wall and then stay on your back, just twizzle around in a nice, easy manner. It's a technical term, that, Amy, twizzle around. And stay on your back, then you can go and swim super slow on the second 100 and still the time will stand.
Yeah, you just have to follow the rules of the race, basically. So he's done a technical infringement, which means he's been disqualified. But coming up now is our A final of the men's 200 backstroke, where we've got Luke Greenbank, Brodie Williams, but in lane 8 here is Jay Lelliott. The City of Sheffield swimmer, had a busy week, swam 200 butterfly, 400 freestyle. And here's our junior swimmer, Caden Edwards. So the time he's looking for tonight is 2:02.22, and he was 0.5 off that this morning. So if he's got another personal best in him, then he's well within that swim.
Well, he's got a good lane. He's going to be next to James McFadden of Loughborough University. That was Craig McNally. Here we go. It is James McFadden of Loughborough. The bronze medal on the 200 medley, and what a race that was, with Duncan Scott winning it in the fastest time in the world this year, and Tom Dean second. McFadden got the bronze. Cam Brooker was 5th in the 100 metres backstroke. He goes in lane 6.
Yeah, and coming out next in lane 3 is Elliot Clogg from the Loughborough National Centre. So coached by Mel Marshall, Luke Greenbank's teammate, and these boys I know push each other day in, day out in training, so they'll both be wanting to swim well here.
In lane 5 we've got Brodie Williams, a British Olympian, the 200 back and 400 IM. Got an awful lot of expertise and knowledge by swimming, going over to Tokyo and understanding how the big meets work. But here he is, the fastest seed into this final of the 200 metres backstroke. He's our Olympic bronze medalist on the 200 back, won the gold here on the 100. And, well, he's got his AP kit on, he's got his Adam Peaty Race Club kit on, sponsored by Adam Peaty, trying to really create a legacy, Adam. And they've got quite a lot of really exciting stuff coming up. I'm sure there'll be announcements of what's going on there. Ed Baxter leading the charge on that. Himself a national age group record holder. But here in the centre lane, it is Luke Greenbank of Loughborough National Centre. Actually on the programme as Cockermouth, that's quite interesting. That's his home club, grew up there as a kid.
Yeah, he came from a great programme there, and Luke is pre-selected in this event, so he doesn't have to be firing all cylinders, but I'm sure he'll want to get back near his best time, which is also the British record of 1 minute 54.43.
Well, he's already swum 1:57 this year, and that's placed him 6th in the world. He's not rested, he's not shaved. He's got a really big job to do this summer. So I'd imagine that Luke Greenbank in the centre, if he can repeat something around 1:57-ish, would probably be pretty good. I mean, if he can duck under that, that would be awesome. It's the fastest time in the world this year is set by Ryan Murphy, the USA, in 1:56.7. So just a second faster than Luke went at the international meet in Marseille just a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but turning first to 50 here is Brodie Williams. Split time 27.28, and he looked really comfortable this morning. So I think we've got, or he'll have a little bit more in him tonight.
Brodie in the second of the yellow lanes, just one up from the leader, Luke Greenbank. Luke Greenbank winning a bronze medal on the individual 200 metres backstroke, and then of course also got a silver medal at the Olympics. We forget that sometimes, leading off the men's medley relay. And so over very, very even, goodness me. First over was Brodie Williams, 56.9, 57.0 from Luke Greenbank. Now the charge comes from Greenbank closer to us.
Yeah, Brody's got really nice turns there. We thought Luke might have really got round the wall faster and pipped him, but Brody Williams there just hanging on. And both of these boys swam this event at the Olympic Games in Tokyo last summer. Luke, our bronze medalist, and Brody Williams was a Tokyo semi-finalist.
Well, Brody looks very good. He's actually the 5th fastest Brit ever. The fastest Brit is Luke Greenbank. In actual fact, Manali and 7 is the 3rd fastest. And Brody Williams, the 5th fastest Brit in history. Good turn, though, from Luke Greenbank.
Yeah, really good using that underwater. I know he practices that a lot, day in and day out, and they're the skills that you need to be a world-class swimmer.
Also going very well at the top there is Jay Lelliot. That's impressive, the fly freestyle specialist. But really holding on well. He swam a tough race here, Luke Greenbank. Can he go 1:57? Yes, he's going to. Just got the touch. 1:57.57. That is the 5th fastest time in the world this year for a man on 200 metres backstroke. And what a race that was. A super race, head-to-head. Greenbank wins it, but Brody Williams pushed him all the way.
Yeah, both of those boys here having a really good swim. That world's consideration time was really fast at 1:56.08, but I'm pretty sure we'll see Brody Williams of the Team England, representing Team England for the Commonwealth Games this summer. So really good swim from both of these boys, and 1:57.5 to 1:57.9. They're both really quick times, and that one looked like it hurt Luke a little bit there.
Well, it's the 5th fastest time in the world for Luke Greenbank, and actually the 8th fastest time in the world this year for Brody Williams. Very good swimming indeed for the two of them. Impressive stuff. So Luke Greenbank wins his 2nd national title here. This one's the 200 metres, adding golds to the 100 that he won earlier on. 1:57.57. Williams 2nd, Jay Lelliot 3rd, McNally 4th, Brooker 5th, and Payden Edwards swimming really well. Let's see what that winner's got to say to John.
Well, Luke, I tell you what, that was a race and a half. Brody putting up a good fight, but you didn't have to do it from the outside lane, at least today.
Yeah, put in a bit of a better heat swim this morning. Obviously, really good race with Brody. Definitely pushing each other to the limit there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, hopefully build on that in the next few weeks and months.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing what you do with that one. I mean, the 5th fastest time in the world so far this year. Lots of year to go still. Could you feel, Brody, coming into that final turn, your last final turn was amazing, by the way. He was right on your shoulder. Could you feel him there?
Yeah, obviously, when he's in the lane next to me, I can kind of see where he is and stuff. Going over my race from this morning, the area to improve was definitely turns. So, yeah, I just wanted to maximise that. It hurt the legs on the last 15 metres or so, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Like, time's nothing special, but where I am at the minute, I'll take that. I'm quite happy with it.
Exactly. Look, congratulations, mate. Your week is over and done with. Good luck with the summer. And ladies and gentlemen, would you please give it up for your new British champion, Luke Greenbank?
Yeah, really good to hear Luke there speaking about tough swimming and it hurting a lot. Those are the swims, you know, where you couldn't have left anything else in the pool and you've really given it your all. And he'll have learnt a lot from that race there, and he'll take that, he'll use those learnings, and he'll move forwards in the summer and only improve and get close to his British record again, no doubt.
Well, Amy, you know what's funny? He's still sitting in that chair. I think his legs really were hurting. He's having a good old chat with John Mason. Well, John's not shying and having a chat, that's for certain. Lovely guy, and he can talk for Britain, but he's still having a chat with Luke. And I think Luke just tactically extending that chat so he can just rest his legs a little bit before he's got to go back to his coach, Mel, have a chat about that, and then go and have a swim down.
Yeah, I don't blame him. And here we have the medal ceremony winners for our women's 1500 freestyle, which we saw at the beginning of the session.
And what a race it was. Lord Mayor of Sheffield presenting the medals. That's quite a good quality bling, that as well. Look at that. I like that. So the bronze medalist on this 1500 metres freestyle for women. She won gold on the 8, now it's bronze on the 15. It's Leah Crisp from Bath National Centre.
Yeah, both of these events are so different. They're almost double the distance. So to be on the podium in the 800 and the 1500, really good from her. And Amber Keegan, the swimmer who led the race for 1450 metres and put in a really good fight, took the silver there. in a time of 16:48.33. Massive personal best from her, massive smile on her face, and a British Championship silver medal.
And I bet she can't believe it. Absolutely brilliant swim it was. And no doubt about the gold medalist, it was Fleur Lewis, but she swam a very canny race, I've got to say. She let Amber Keegan go quite a long way ahead. 10-second lead she had on the left-hand side in that lovely white tracksuit of City of Sheffield.
Yeah, Fleur just really reeled her in down that last sort of 600 metres of the race. She went to the legs, and as I say, she knew what she was doing. She stuck to that race plan and executed it really well to become our British champion in the women's 1500 metres freestyle.
1500. That's such a brutal event. Really is amazing. So now the medal ceremony for the men's 50 metres butterfly. And the bronze medal going to Adam Barrett of Wickham District, and a great story for him, a super comeback.
Yeah, a few years off, decided the ISL's coming up, I'm really good short course, I'll give that a go, and then decided, well, I'm swimming quite well, I'll get stuck in, and why not give the Commonwealth Game team a go this summer for Team England, and he just shaved under that time there, so we may see him this summer.
Well, let's hope so. Jacob Peters, British Olympian in the 100 metres butterfly. So the bronze to Adam Barrett, the silver to Jacob Peters, his second of this championship. But no doubt about the winner. It was very impressive. A no-breather, didn't breathe down that 50 metres butterfly. It is the British record holder, Ben Proud of University of Bath, the world champion in this event back in 2017. And 3 of the fastest 4 Brits in history going gold, silver and bronze. The fastest is Ben. The second fastest is actually Adam Barrett, who got the bronze medal. Third fastest, Mark Foster still. And then the fourth fastest, Jacob Peters.
Yeah, almost one of the best swimmers we've seen in Great Britain in sprinting, and his preferred events, the 50 fly and the 50 metres freestyle. So it's nice to see him at the end of the week. He had 4 days to chill out, watch all the action, and then 2 days, 2 50s, and he's all done.
He's very used to it, though, isn't he? Certainly at the Olympics, he has to wait forever. I have to say, I feel really sorry for him. They don't always even... Did he not go into the village? He stayed back?
Yeah, so him and Dan Jervis spent a few extra days in the preparation area, staying out the village, minimising that sort of walk-in, keeping out the way and not getting too excited too soon. So those 2 boys came in slightly later, as it can be difficult when you wait all week just to swim fast at the end.
So Imogen Clark winning the bronze medal on the women's 100 metres breaststroke. So close. Just 3/100ths of a second behind Sarah Vasey, who won the silver for the Loughborough National Centre. And she was only 8/100ths ahead, or behind Cara Hanlon, the new national champion on this women's 100 metres breaststroke. Cara Hanlon of Edinburgh University. Her winning time 67.52. Vasey second, Imogen Clark third. And what, 11/100ths of a second, splitting those first 3.
Yeah, super close swim from all these girls. Imogen took it out really well. Both Sarah and Cara were leading that chase, and Cara just managing to get her fingertips on the wall, so well done from her. I think that might be her first British national title as well.
Well, the way she swam it, wouldn't be surprised if she gets several more. She looked really good. The way she swam it, very good. She didn't panic when... Who was it in lane 3 that went out so fast? Was it Sarah?
Imogen. Yeah, Imogen went out really quick there. We knew she would be in the 50 specialist, being so quick off the start. She really carried that momentum down the first length, and her and Sarah both out a little bit faster than Cara, but she really kind of reeled them in that second 50 and finished really strong.
Amy, I've been desperate to ask you, and we'll ask you now because we've just got a little pause before the next event. One, it's been fantastic to have you in the commentary box. It's been great fun. I've really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for all your insights. It's been really, really interesting. Is it what you expected it to be? You've just retired from swimming and you've just jumped straight into the commentary box. Is it what you expected?
A A little bit of what I expected, and definitely a lot harder than I thought. It's quite hard to keep up with the races. When you're watching it and you're down there, you miss some of the action, but being up here, you have to try and look at what's going on all the way from lane 0 into lane 9, but I think I've developed a little bit, hopefully, throughout the week, and really enjoyed myself being up here on the other side of the action.
Well, it has been fascinating and also fabulous to have you in the commentary box. And what's really interesting for me is you take constructive criticism, I'll say. You're looking at me and smiling, but constructive criticism because the very, very few things that you haven't quite got on day 1, you fix straight away on day 2. I mean, it's just amazing, really amazing. You've done so well. Thank you so much. Hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have, and I don't like being rubbish at things, so as soon as you said that, I was like, how can I improve? How can I get better? So still got that athlete mentality, even though I've retired and moved on to totally different things the outside of the pool.
Well, let's hope we have Amy Wilmot in the commentary box, an awful lot more. Triple Olympian, double Olympic finalist in such a tough event, the women's 400 medley. But you seem, well, your stories are about everything. You've had stories about the breaststroke, you've got stories about doing backstroke, got stories about winning medals at the European Senior Championships from a slow heat where the other guys didn't even know you were there, and you went and won a bronze medal when you were sitting in the stands. Fantastic stuff. So here we go. 2 more races left, 2 more events left, 4 finals in each. This, the women's junior 100 meters butterfly final, and Lucy Fox of Wickham District goes in for as the fastest seed. So the green hat right in the centre is the fastest seed in this junior final of the women's 100 metres butterfly.
Yeah, and up there in lane 7, Phoebe Cooper, our almost standout junior swimmer of the week, has had a really good start. We've seen her in the 200 butterfly, the 400 medley. She's qualified for the European Youth Olympics already, or shall we say has been considered for the European Youth Olympics already, but she's won both of those events, and we saw her this morning really move it on, and she is only 14 years old.
Well, it's quite extraordinary. That 50 fly on its own is pretty impressive. Now, can she hold on down this second 50 metres? Because coming back hard is Lucy Fox in the centre in the green hat. That is Phoebe Cooper, a 14-year-old from the city of Sheffield, and her teammates really urging her on.
Yeah, Annabelle Wilkinson as well, having a good swim down in lane 1.
Well, if she can hold on, and she is doing, she's getting a little bit tired inside this last 10. Hold your stroke, make sure you keep on pushing all the way through to the back. And this is a great swim. Lane number 7 wins it. The 14-year-old Phoebe Cooper of the city of Sheffield. Her time 1:01.46. Her lifetime best was 1:03.4. 2-second lifetime best on 100, and absolutely stony-faced.
That was like so quick from her. I can't believe how good that was at 14 years old, and she doesn't even look too bothered by it. But the 200 butterfly, the 400 medley, I'm sure she'll get to swim that 100 meters butterfly out at the European Youth Olympics, and if there's a relay, she'll be the swimmer in that. But 61.46 is really quick, and also personal best time from Lucy Fox just behind her in 61.90, her first time under 62 seconds.
Well, she wasn't that far off the junior consideration time of 60.7. She's only 14. Wow, that's impressive. Can't believe there's too many 14-year-olds going 61 for 100 meters butterfly. So straight into the Priority Paris final. And quite a few juniors in this, and some really great swimmers in this. Certainly some had fantastic meets.
Yeah, Ashley Bailey up in lane 6, another City of Sheffield swimmer who's had a fantastic week, was 3rd in the A final in that 800 freestyle, has won 200 fly junior gold. So lots of athletes in these Priority Paris finals that have had a fantastic week.
Yeah, Holly Widows of Mount Kelly, another one who's had a super week. And in lane 3, that's Chloe Harris of Royal Wolverhampton School. She won the junior final in the 200 medley. I liked her breaststroke, but her dad, I think, likes her butterfly a little bit better. She's a great flyer. She's in the Priority Paris final of the 100 fly. Sky Carter, closest to us from Basildon, Phoenix, coached by Dougie Campbell, but the best start by far up in lane 4 is Charlotte Berry of the city of Sheffield.
Yeah, really lovely start from her. And she's got such a high hip action in this butterfly technique. She's entering just shoulder width apart. The head's nice and still, and she's got a really low chin position and really nice rhythm through this first 50.
So in 5 now, it looks like it's Holly Widows. And Holly's going to hit the wall right on the end of a stroke. It's a very good first 50 from her, 28.27. 28.3 from the swimmer in second place. That's Sophie Freeman right at the top.
Yeah, both of those girls at the top have had really good weeks. I think Holly Widows has swum a PB in everything she's swum so far.
Well, it's mighty close, and coming back a little bit now is Charlotte Berry in lane number 4, but still going well is Holly Widows in the white hat of Mount Kelly in 5. And between them, Ashley Bailey's coming through in the red hat from City of Sheffield. There's charges coming everywhere in this women's 100 fly priority Paris final, and the winner is in lane number 6 from City of Sheffield. Having a cracking meet they are. Ashley Bailey seems to be winning everything she goes in.
Yeah, to swim 60.7 in 100 metres butterfly when your entry time and your personal best time is 62.39 is another massive personal best. And Holly Widows as well, another PB, finishing second in 60.9. Her entry time is 61.9. And third was Sophie Freeman there from lane 7. So all our winners coming from the far side of the pool.
Well, really quick swimming, lifetime best for first and second there. Ashley Bailey, what a meet she's had. 60.7 for 100 metres butterfly. Doesn't bother with the 61s. Straight through to the 60s. Holly Widows in second, Sophie Freeman third, Charlotte Berry in fourth, Chloe Harris fifth, and then Eleanor Morgan and Sky Carter 6th and 7th. Sky Carter is actually 14 years old.
Yeah, and finished with a personal best time there. So it's good to see these girls not kind of getting swallowed up in these finals. And even though she's a junior swimmer, she's advanced and made it into that priority Paris final. So really good to see these swimmers stepping up regardless of what final and just using it as an opportunity to swim fast again.
So Maisie Ellity in 1 for Loughborough University, and 2 it's May Bradburn of Basildon Phoenix. Just seen her 14-year-old teammate swim in the Priority Paris final. This is the B final. Kira Schlosser in 3, Lucy Grieve in 4, Emily Large 5, Robertson in 6, Goodwin in 7 of Leeds, and 8 Pia Murray of Leyland.
Yeah, all of these girls here, bar 1, swam a season's best or a personal best to make it back in this B final. So it was really tight on paper, and I imagine it's going to be right down to the wire here. But Emily Large definitely one to look out for as our 200 butterfly swimmer. She's in lane 5 in the blue suit. This is our women's 100 metres butterfly B final.
So the B final, women's 100 fly. Lucy Grieve of South Ayrshire, the fastest seed in lane number 4, and Emily Large in 5, but Lucy's got the better start in 4.
Yeah, both of these girls either side of Emily there had a nice start, but we know Emily's got a really strong back end, so we'd like to think that she's going to build into this 50 turn, really use that underwater, and then charge down this last 50 of the race.
Well, Emily Large in 5 does have a good back end, as does in 3. That's Kiara Schlossen of the University of Edinburgh, who was 7th in the 200 fly, so this is going to be an interesting second 50.
Yeah, really good so far, but Isabella Goodwin from the City of Leeds still looking really good at the top of the picture.
Well, she is going well in that yellow hat, but the rest of the field starting to charge. Lucy Grieve coming back from the South Ayrshire in 4. Also in 5, it's Emily Large now starting to go. Oh, it's so close with 10 metres to go, isn't it? Look at this. Oh, they're getting tired. They're really tying up. Who's going to get the finish? First over, I think it is in 4. Yes, it is. Lucy Grieve of South Ayrshire wins it 60.16. Just outside of 60 seconds and so close to breaking that 1 minute barrier. It's still a 7/10 of a second lifetime best to win the B final of the women's 100 fly. Oh, great smile as well. Well done.
Yeah, nice to see so many swimmers happy with their result. We've seen so many PBs, I can't even keep count. We've seen swimmers do a PB in this morning, like Lucy, and then come back again and lower that PB in the final. So she finishes this meet with a time of 60.16. So she should be super happy with that.
Well, there's lifetime bests all over the place there. First, second and third, certainly. I'm still trying to go through them to check. Yes, Kara Schlossen did one as well. And Isabel Goodwin well, I'm guessing she's going to be pretty close too. So some really good swimming. Certainly the first 4 their lifetime bests. Lucy Grieve wins the B final of the women's 100 fly. And Amy, well, it's with mixed emotions that I say that this is the last women's final of these British National Championships for 2022. It's the women's 100 metres butterfly A final, and Harriet Jones goes in as the fastest seed. And it's sprint versus distance because Laura Stevens is in lane 5 for Loughborough National Centre.
Yeah, it's going to be a really close race, this. We have Laura in 5, Harriet in 4, 100-metre specialist from Tokyo. We have Kiana McInnes in lane 3, our Scottish national record holder in this event. And Georgie Pryor was 3rd in the 50 earlier this week in lane 2. So lots of talent from these swimmers. Some of these athletes we expect to go out really quick, but Laura's got a superb back end. So if she's not out ahead, we expect to see her coming back.
Well, there's some times to go for here as well. Of course, the qualification times for the Commonwealth Games teams for the home nations, as well as the world consideration time. Very, very quick there, 56.9. And the junior time as well. So Tane Bruce, 7th in the 50 fly. She goes in lane 6. She could make the Scottish Commonwealth Games team here.
Yeah, the time she's looking for is 58.96, so she's capable of doing that if she could swim round about her personal best, but it'll be tough. And Kiana McInnes also looking to achieve that Scottish consideration time.
The silver medalist on the 200 fly. Can she go one better here and win the gold on the 100? Laura Stevens, our 200 metres butterfly specialist and Olympian, swam a really good 200 fly here, 2:09.11, just outside of the consideration time. But I wouldn't be too surprised if they look favourably on her when the selection is done tomorrow. And then the fastest seed is the champion on the 50 metres butterfly from these British National Championships, Harriet Jones, the Olympian on the 100, and looked really good in the heats.
Yeah, she did, and she swam a season's best in the heats this morning, so she'll be looking to get back down near her personal best of 57.79, and if she can do that, she'll also be up for selection in the Welsh team at the Commonwealth Games this summer. But ultimately, that world's consideration time is superbly fast, and that is 56.99.
Well, I think the world's time possibly a little bit out of reach, but certainly the home nation's Commonwealth Games selection time's very, very much in reach. They've got to go 58s, though. The Scottish qualification, 58.9. Wales, 58.4. England, 58.2. The A final of the women's 100 metres butterfly, the last women's final of this 2022 British Championships, and a really good start from the 50 specialist, the 100 specialist, Harriet Jones in 4 for Cardiff.
Yeah, phenomenal start from her. She really has such a smooth transition, which means she can carry that speed straight away down the first 50 and breathes nice and low, chin close to the surface, and all 3 girls in the middle here have excellent skills and will be round this wall really quick.
And Laura Stevens, well, I'm sure tactically she's just got to try and go out with Harris and then bring it back on the second 50. And she's going fast as well. She's going really well in the second of those 2 yellow lanes in the centre.
Yeah, nothing splitting them girls at the turn, and we'll really see Laura now start to dig in.
So 4, 5 and 6 all going really well. At the moment, it looks like Laura Stevens, the 200 specialist, coming back. She's working super hard. She is in 5. Laura Stevens leading with 10 metres to go. And this is going to be really tight. Can she get the finish? I think she can, you know. Laura Stevens wins the 100, 58.43. And that is just outside the English consideration time for the 100 fly. But with the medley relay spots available as well, I wouldn't be too surprised if Team England select her.
Yeah, we'd hope to see her on a couple of planes this summer. She's also our fastest 100-metre butterfly swimmer, so if we're thinking about alternates for that 4x1 mixed medley, which we won gold in at the Olympics, Laura is potentially an option for that. So super close in the 200. Like to see her on the plane this summer to the World Championships.
And she's double British national champion in the 100 and the 200 metres butterfly now. A 200 specialist, I'd say, but that's really impressive. 58.4 from her, just outside of her lifetime best, but she really needs to just make sure she can deliver her best self in the summer at the Commonwealth Games and hopefully get on the teams for the World Championships and possibly the Europeans as well. It's impressive.
Yeah, it was a really tough swim, and to swim that at the end of the week. We saw her in the 200 butterfly, just missed that time. So to bounce back and win the A final of 100 meters butterfly is really good, and she does so in a 58.43.
So Stevens, national champion on the 100 and the 200. Harriet Jones won the 50, silver on this 100. Kiana McInnes third, and Tane Breeson fourth. Let's see what Laura's got to say to John Mason.
Well, Laura, congratulations. It's your second title of the week and a great way to finish it. It was a good race.
Yeah, it was actually quite surprised with that. No, I mean, that's what I wanted to finish the week with, so it's job done really, and I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, I mean, as you should be. It's over and done with now. You can put your feet up for a bit. But what's next for you? What are our sights set on now that that race is over? It's on to the next step.
Yeah, I mean, just a bit of a break next week, and then I'll be back at it in training, so see whatever comes through with the selections and then go from there.
Well, listen, you've had some great swims this week. Congratulations. You've earned a rest, so put your feet up. But ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for your British champion, Laura Stevens.
Thank you.
Laura Stevens there, our British champion, and interesting how she says job done. We've seen a lot of athletes sit in that chair this week and speak to John Mason on poolside and comment on how it's that year post-Tokyo. It kind of seems to be the theme of the meet, where swimmers are almost relieved and happy to get through this British Championships and do so well. And now is the time when they wait, see what teams they might have made this summer, and then they'll look to move it on and step it up.
Well, I think that was an excellent swim. She's really a little bit more a 200 swimmer, but a 58 on the 100. That's a great time, especially at this phase of her return to training. I think that's a really, really good performance. So this is the one that I have to say I think most people at these national championships and around the country have been waiting for. It's the men's 200 meters freestyle, because we have our Olympic gold and silver medalists going in the big final, the A final, in 4 finals time. Tom Dean head-to-head with Duncan Scott. They've both been on fire at this meet, and we've got all 5 of the gold medalists from the Olympics in Tokyo, the 4 who swam the final and the swimmer who swam the heats to make sure that they could get through to that final. All 5 gold medalists are here, and the top 4 British swimmers in history are the swimmers who swam in the final of that Olympic Games. This is the first one, though. This is the junior final. We're going to have to wait, but how much fun, how exciting must it be for these guys to swim in this race, when in 3 races' time they can get out and watch Tom Dean and Duncan Scott go hammer and tongs at each other.
Yeah, ultimately, this is almost the start for these swimmers. The A finals and the B finals are the ones that they'll be looking to make next year.
So the swimmer's just kicking that little, the back of the block, the little bit that sticks off, just to make sure it's not slipping. Kicking it pretty hard, though. If he's not careful, it might fly off the back, and then he is in a bit of trouble. But a lovely start right down at the bottom there from Calvin Fry of Mount Kelly. A super start. Look at this. Well, he's going really quick. Very high kick when he puts his left arm in. A little bit of a lollopy stroke, but my word, he's going like the clappers down this first 50.
Yeah, we saw him in the 50 freestyle, I think it was last night, and he was really quick there. So using that speed down the first 50, and he turns in a 25.81. So he's not messing around, and he probably wants to put down a good time with some of these juniors coming up in the heats after him.
Well, he's looking very good indeed, and Mount Kelly had a great meet here. Emma Collins-Barnes just coming back from maternity, and Mr. King Lim has done a really good job holding the fort. And this is a good start, a good first 100 metres, a little bit more measured now, a little bit slower, breath to the left and then a breath to the right going into that turn. Lost a little bit of momentum doing that, but a good turn from Sam Tucker of Wickham District in lane 2.
Yeah, that's often a sign that it's probably hurting a little bit more than it should be already, so be good to see him try and hang on here on the third 50, but the boys in the centre of the pool here in the yellow lanes, I think it's Tyler Melbourne Smith in that red hat, is having a really good third 50 and making his move now as he comes into the turn.
That is Tyler Melbourne Smith of City of Liverpool, and he's going very well. First the turn still, though, with 50 metres go. Sam Tucker of Wickham District in the green hat closer to us. And these two now having a real battle, but coming back again is Calvin Fry at the bottom.
Yeah, he's obviously realised that he's not quite done yet, and all these boys kind of looking at each other, but Lane 1 there has just lost his hat as well, so he's really working to the finish here, and who's going to get it?
Well, he was going really well, just lost his hat and lost a little bit of momentum maybe, but Tyler Melbourne Smith winning it in the centre there, 152. What a good swim that was. Well, it's another lifetime best for him to win the junior final in this men's 200 metres freestyle. Calvin Fry got second, I think, from lane 1. Lost his hat in the process, 152.8. Right on his lifetime best. 2:100, he's equaled his lifetime best.
Yeah, really good swim from him, and he was gutty from the start. Thought he might have struggled a little bit, but he was saving it all for that last 50, and really close finish there. So Tyler Melbourne Smith gets that from Liverpool in a 152.39, ahead of Calvin Fry, 152.84, and Sam Tucker in third.
There on the left-hand side is Duncan Scott, when he looks pretty relaxed. And look at this. These are the big boys sitting down with his arms spread wide open there. Is Matt Richards. He's in the big final. And they're having a bit of a laugh. Look at that. He's not cold, is he?
Yeah, Callum Jarvis looks like he's ready for winter, but he's always one to keep Toasty in the call room. And there's Tom Dean just behind him, showing off his guns. All these boys will have so much fun in this final tonight, and good to see them all teammates, but also competitors as soon as they get behind that block.
And Tom Dean at the back right there, Olympic champion on this 200 metres freestyle, and then front left, Olympic silver medalist. And 4 of those guys, 5 of those guys, look at that, a little bit of a dance. Oh, he's got blue socks. He's slightly better socks than yesterday, Duncan. I've got to say, there was sort of pinky orange. I wasn't a big fan of those, but maybe the turquoise that suits him a bit better.
He does always have a funky sock. He often turns up to the gym with socks with pizzas on and burgers and chips, so he's one for a cool sock, and yeah, he always has them out.
Well, they're all going in the A final fairly shortly. We've got the priority Paris to go first, and then we've got the B final, and then the big guns come out. And, well, I've got to say, the fastest 4 men in Great Britain in history in this final. And we do also have, well, I'll give you the world rankings in the second of those guys, but we've got the fastest 4 guys in the top 11 in the world this year. The fastest 4 Brits ranked in the top 11.
Yeah, but this is the men's priority Paris final. Some of these boys here have already qualified or achieved consideration times for the European Junior Championships, and Evan Jones in particular in lane 7 has had a fantastic meet, has done that in the 200 IM, 400 IM, and be looking to add the 200 freestyle to his list of swims this summer.
Yes, Evan Jones up in 7, real great prospect. Set a lifetime best to qualify in 6th fastest for this, the priority Paris final of the men's 200 freestyle. A lot of noise around. These boys are huge. Look at this. This is the B final.
Yeah, these boys here, we're looking for that consideration time for the European Junior Championships of 150.63, but really good start is Alexander Painter down in lane 1 at the bottom of the screen from Millfield School, and we've seen him have a busy week. I'm pretty sure he's already been in something else tonight, and it's good to see these boys backing up swim after swim after swim, and after all, we're on day 6 and it can be a little bit tiring.
Well, it was Painter to turn first, but only just by 8/100ths of a second from Ruben Roberth and Keating up there of City of Manchester Aquatics. And I wish his day was a bit shorter, because he swam so many races at this meet. He swam almost everything, but he's swimming well as well, which is great to see. And City of Manchester Aquatics having a good meet here.
Yeah, coached by Mark Rose there. He's had a phenomenal meet. He's also been in probably just as many swims as Evan Jones. So these guys competitors and swimming head-to-head up there in 7 and 8.
And the race over this side of the pool at the moment, and these 4 guys not so widely dissimilar to the race at the Olympic Games, when Tom Dean got really into a scrap in a race on one side of the pool, and poor Duncan Scott was on the other side, and it was a little bit slower, charging back, didn't quite make it. But this is a really great swim in 4 at the moment from Tom Watkin of City of Sheffield. Can he bring it back in the red hat in 4?
Yeah, made a move there on that third 50, and he's used that turn, hasn't stayed underwater. He's thought, I'm better at the swim speed, so I'm going to get up and just really focus on that now.
Also going well is the green hat of Millfield School's Evan Jones up the top there, and he's charging back the 400 medley, 200 medley specialist is having a really good last 50. This is going to be very close indeed. Tom Watkin of City of Sheffield in the red hat coming through quickly, in the black hat in 5 is Josh Williams as well. Who got the touch? Evan Jones got the touch of Millfield. So close. 150.65 from Evan when he was a 152 200 metres freestyler until right now. He was this morning when he set his lifetime best to go 152.4, and he's just gone 150.6, 1.8 second lifetime best.
Yeah, all these boys in 1, 2 and 3 set a new personal best of 150, and they're probably excited because not only have this one personal best, but they're getting closer and closer to those big guns. And in a couple of years' time in Paris, some of these juniors might be challenging for places on that final, and he only just missed that junior consideration time by 0.02, but no doubt he'll be on the team and he'll get to swim that there. So really good swim from all these boys in that final.
Well, there's our Olympic gold and silver medalist having a bit of a laugh, but it's quite interesting, isn't it? Because Tom Dean's pretty keen to get going. He's pretty keen to get warm, get his body moving. Look at these guys. They're having a bit of a laugh, but I tell you what, it's going to be fireworks fairly shortly. There's the Olympic champion. Just mind your head, please, Tom. That concrete will not withstand your head. So one more race before we see all the big boys in action in that final. Can't wait for that. Everyone's been waiting all week for the men's 200 free final. One more race to go, and there's some quick swimmers in here. Jacob Whittle is in 3. Jacob Goodman in 4. Stephen Milnes in 5. Mark Sharanik's in 6. And right at the bottom, superstar
Dan Jervis is in lane 1 there from Swansea University, and he's had a really good competition. Hasn't necessarily been happy with some of his swims initially, but he was so excited to get in this 200 freestyle relay. And I bumped into his dad earlier and he said he couldn't wait to be in this B final tonight.
Well, he was brutal in the analysis of one of his swims, wasn't it? Was that the 8 or the 15? I can't remember which it was. I think the 15. Absolutely brutal. I was sitting there going, oh, easy, boy. You swam well. Jervis will be in 1. He'll be closer to us at the bottom of the pool. In lane number 1, there he is with the Olympic rings tattooed on the side of his chest. And the green hat of Swansea University. Whittle in 3. He's a bronze medalist on the 100 metres freestyle. And then Goodman in 4, Milne in 5, Sharanek in 6, Bell in 7, Mildred in 8.
Yeah, this race will be a really tight one, and Stephen Milne there is our silver medalist from Rio in the men's 4x200 freestyle, so 2 Olympians in this heat. 3. Forgot about Dan. Sorry, Dan.
I'm sure he'll forgive you because it's this not one of his Olympic events, but it certainly is for the guys in the middle. And Jacob Whittle, aged 16 years of age, 16, went 48.1 for 100 metres freestyle, broke the English record and made it through to the semi-final of the Olympic Games in the 100 metres freestyle. He's got the red hat in lane number 3, but gone off very quick indeed is Ed Mildred, right at the top there in lane number 8.
Yeah, Ed's got really, really nice underwater work. Tends to be a butterfly specialist, but as a lot of these boys have been saying, they want a slice of that action on one of these relays this summer. So good to see these boys mixing it up, and that's why Dan Jervis is in there at the bottom of the field in lane 1.
And there's simply not enough room for all the talent on the men's 200 metres freestyle that we got in Great Britain. We're going to have to use these B finals for spillovers, so you've got to go super quick in the final if you want to be amongst the big boys, and these guys are going quick. Goodman over first, Mildred second, Milne third, Sharanek fourth, and at the moment in lane number 3, Jacob Whittle turning in 6th.
Yeah, Jacob had a really good 100 earlier in the week, so we expect to see him maybe saving a little bit of energy with him being a 100 specialist, really using that on this last part of the race. But these boys having a great swim, and lane 4 and lane 8 really taking this race out.
Well, 8 has gone off very quickly down the first 100, 150. Can he hold on? Because the charge is now coming in the middle. And it's coming in the shape of lane number 4, Jacob Goodman of Loughborough University. And they're starting to charge now. They're really looking good coming back at him.
Yeah, these 400 boys in the middle of the pool here really working hard. And Jacob Goodman looks good, and he's really gone to his legs now in the last 25.
So it's Goodman in the centre in 4, coming through in 7 is William Bell, and he finished fast on the 400 metres freestyle. Of course, made the Olympic team. Oh, just look at that. Lane 4 wins it, 1:49.35. 1:49 wins the B final. 1:49, 8 is second in the B final. Amazing swims, tied for second place. So our top 3 in the B final, sub 150.
Yeah, really nice swim there, and Jacob Goodman swam that perfectly, and he swam a personal best time. Coming into this meet, I think his season's best was high 149, and he's just dropped that to 149.35. And on a 200 freestyle, a 0.6 PB is a pretty big deal.
We did, so really good swimmer, look at that. So Goodman wins it, 149.3, 2 149.8 for Jacob Whittle. Came back like a shot, because he was about 4 or 5 meters down at the halfway turn. And a really good second 100 meters as well for William Bell. Had a great Olympic trials last year, and that was impressive. And 3 swimmers underneath 150 in the B final. Wasn't enough room in the A final, because this is absolutely stacked. This is the one I've been looking for. Amy Wilmot, I can't wait for this one.
Yeah, me either. So Kieran Bird here first out, our Olympian in the 800 meters freestyle at the Tokyo Olympic Games, and he's had a really good week, and it's been good to see him back on form.
Also had a storming 400 meters freestyle to make that Olympic team. Now Olympic champion men's 4x2 free relay, Matt Richards. He goes in lane 1, one of 5 swimmers who got gold medals from that relay. And here is another one of the 5. He swam in the heats of that men's 4x2 free relay. He's got an Olympic gold medal. He's in lane 7.
Yeah, Callum Jarvis here. So useful to have the opportunity to be able to swim some of our world-class athletes in the heats and rest some of those boys. And ultimately, that could have been the difference between them winning gold and just missing out.
And another world-class 200 meters freestyle swimmer, it's Joe Litchfield, great medley swimmer, brilliant on his underwaters. He's in lane 2. He's qualified 5th fastest for this final. And James Guy, 4th fastest for this final. Double Olympic gold medalist. He won gold on the men's 4x2 free relay, and also on that mixed medley relay, the 3rd fastest fly split in history, with only Dressel and Phelps faster.
Yeah, James Guy, normally Mr. Reliable in those relay teams, but here we have Tom Dean, our Olympic champion in lane 3, and he's been doing really well this week, so maybe we won't see a personal best time, but I'm pretty sure all of these boys will be close to that British record.
Double Olympic champion, won the individual, he won the 4x2 as well. Cam Curl goes in 5 for University of Stirling, the 2nd fastest seed into this men's 200 meters freestyle final. Swam a wonderful heat, looked really, really good, attacked it from the start. And it's going to be lightning fast, I think, here. And the fastest seed is on fire at this meet. He's already swum a 400 medley that would have won the Olympic Games in that 400 AM, the time fastest in the world this year. Duncan Scott goes in lane 4. He was on that men's 4x2 free relay that won gold. He also won 3 silver medals, 4 Olympic medals in Tokyo to add to 2 more that he won in Rio. He's got 6 Olympic medals already. What a field. Richards in 1, Litchfield 2, Olympic champion in 3, Olympic silver medalist in 4, Curl in 5, ex-world champion in 6 on the 200 free, 7 is Jarvis, Olympic champion, and 8 Bird Olympian on the 400 meters freestyle. What a final.
Yeah, all of these boys Olympians in 1 to 8 in different events, so tough race, and this is going to be really quick, and who knows who's going to take it out, who's going to bring it back, but it could be from any one of these 8 lanes tonight.
The final of the men's 200 meters freestyle, the race everyone has been waiting for. That's 5, Cam Curl. Duncan Scott in 4 on the right-hand side of that shot. What a final this is going to be. So it's 4 lengths of the pool. It's the final everyone's been waiting for at this British National Championships. It's the final race of the meet. It's the men's 200 meters freestyle. It's absolutely stacked with double Olympic gold medalists, individual Olympic gold medalists, single Olympic gold medalists. They're all over the place. And the fastest starter is the world champion from 2015. It's James Guy, double Olympic champion, up in 6.
Yeah, in lane 1, Matt Richards had gone with him in this race, but we knew both of these boys would be out fast. James Guy, Mr. reliable, always throws down a good swim when you need him to in the relay. So all of these boys here close as we come into the 75-metre mark, and it's only going to get quicker and it's only going to get closer.
Well, James Guy looks fantastic. He's really surfing along down this first 100. The red hat up there in lane number 6. You can't be slow on this one, though. He's over first, and look how close it is. Duncan Scott second, Tom Dean third. In fourth, it was Cam Curl, and now the big guys are going to go.
Yeah, Duncan had a phenomenal back 100 at the Olympic Games. That's one of his strengths, and him and Tom Dean now really looking at each other across the pool, taking it out with 75 metres to go. But James Guy still having a really good swim there in 6 in the red hat.
And Scott is lying in a good place in 4. Has James Guy gone too hard too early? We're about to find out. A really good turn there from James Guy. So it's Guy in the red hat, and now the Olympic gold and silver charging. The gold is closer to us of those leaders. It's Tom Dean. The silver's Duncan Scott next to him. And up there in 6, still going, and going to his legs again, it's James Guy. Who's going to get the gold here? Duncan Scott's charging. Tom Dean is coming back again. This is an amazing 200 metres freestyle final. Who gets the touch? It is Duncan Scott, 1:45.54. Whoa, what a race that was. 19/100ths of a second ahead of the the gold medalist, the Olympic champion, Tom Dean in silver, and the bronze goes to James Guy. But what an amazing race that was. Total respect between these two guys. Olympic champion on the right gets the silver. Olympic silver medalist on the left gets the gold.
Yeah, I was sweating just watching that race. It was so close. Duncan had an unbelievable back 100. Tom Dean hanging on, and world leading times there from both of those boys. 1:45.54 leads Tom Dean, 1:45.73, and James Guy on a 1:46.44. So unbelievable from those 3 boys, and nice to see them all kind of congratulating each other, as they are teammates and they are some of the world's very best freestyle swimmers.
Well, let me tell you, let me just update you on the world rankings list. Duncan Scott just won it, the fastest time in the world this year. Second was Tom Dean, the second fastest time in the world this year. Third was James Guy, the 4th fastest time in the world this year. So 1, 2 and 3 are ranked 1, 2 and 4 in the world. What a relay team that is. Unbelievable.
Yeah, superb to see these boys here at the British Championships swimming like that. It's almost like they're in a world final, Olympic final, because they are the best swimmers that we have in Britain and the best swimmers in the world.
Quite extraordinary. So you've got to go top 4 in the world to get a bronze medal at the British Championships on the men's 200 metres freestyle. And what a meet Duncan Scott's had. His brilliant Commonwealth record on the 400 medley to summertime that would have won the Olympic Games. And now the winners, talking to John Mason.
Well, I tell you what, guys, what a way to finish the championships. That race is a long way to get to it, but that looked like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm out of breath, but yeah, always fun racing Duncan. You know, 1-2 last year at trials, 1-2 at the games, and 1-2 here as well. Yeah, it's brilliant.
And of course, you know, the spots for those relay places are up for grabs as well. Had an amazing time at the games with that one. There's so much depth when it comes to this race in British swimming. Why do you think that is, Dunks?
Yeah, no, it's good, but you know, I think we need to keep asking ourselves for more. Yeah. And you know, races like that do that. You know, the worst thing that can happen to us now is being complacent. You know, Olympic golds in the 4x2. So, no, it's about moving things on, and you know, being really competitive like that is going to do that. So, no, I really enjoy the 200 free on the last night of trials. Is always so competitive, and no, it brings the best out of us all, which is good.
Definitely, it's the last race of the week as well.
Yeah, it's the last race of the week, and we always say the best one to last. You know, we're the best country in the world at 200 freestyle. We showed that at the Olympics, and we showed it here tonight as well. So, yeah, it's brilliant.
Love to see it. Look, congratulations, guys. What a great week. You got to see it's all done now. You can get off home. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please give it up for Thomas Dean and Duncan Scott?
Yeah, phenomenal from our world's best swimmers there, 1 and 2, and they make me want to be in that men's 4x200 freestyle team. And Duncan there talking about those boys really bringing the best out of each other, and that's why they are the best relay swimmers in the world. That's why they won Olympic gold, and with that world mentality, it makes them the best in that event.
What a final that was. World ranked 1, 2 and 4. for our swimmers 1, 2, and 3. And James Guy, what a gutsy swim he swam. He was right there. I thought at the 150, surely the other guys would go blasting past him because he'd gone so quick so early. And he hung on and hung on and hung on. That's why you want James Guy on your relay. He's tough as nails, that guy. And he only got the bronze. Amazing swim.
Yeah, he was always our number 1, number 2, him and Duncan Scott for many years. And Tom Dean kind of stole that off him last year and went on to win Olympic gold. So those 3 boys in great position to have great competition and just really keep pushing the best out of each other.
And the medal is going to be presented on this 200 metres backstroke by Jack Buckner, the outgoing CEO of British Swimming. He's resigned to take up a role as head of British Athletics, and himself an Olympic finalist in athletics, so not surprising really, moving on from swimming. He's presided over it for 5 years. I think he said bittersweet because he's really enjoyed his time, delivered some fantastic swimming for British Swimming. And with athletics in the state that it's in at the moment, they need as much help as they can possibly have. Brodie Williams getting the silver on this men's 200 metres backstroke. Jay Lelliot the bronze, a really impressive swim from him. But Luke Greenbank, his 2nd national title this week, winning a gold on the 200 backstroke.
Yeah, Luke was pretty happy with that. He's at that stage of the season where those swims are going to hurt, and we saw that after his 200 backstroke tonight. But just means that he's got so much to work on leading into the summer, and world bronze, Olympic bronze. Can he do one better in the summer?
Please give it up for your members.
Well, I wouldn't be too surprised. He's gone 2 157s this year, and that was pretty impressive without resting. I wonder if he'll shave that little man bun off the back there. It seems to me to be a bit of a speed bump. I'm not. What are you? You're shaking your head. You're saying no.
Yeah, that's definitely staying. Luke's not going to get rid of that.
Really? Would you not sacrifice that for a gold medal at the World Championships later on this year?
To be fair, I've been asked this question before, and I would have shaved my head to win an Olympic gold medal if I knew it was going to work.
Well, I think I might have done as well. We both had a go, though. Both had fun in the process. You got really close. Super heat you swam, didn't you?
Yeah, finished 2nd in my heat and then couldn't quite back that up the next morning. Almost laid everything out on the table too early, but finished 7th at the Olympics. I'll take that.
Well, I did not dissimilar. I was fastest after the heats and ended up 3rd. It was still a great fun experience. And here are the winners of the medals in the women's 100 metres butterfly. Kiana McInnes of University of Stirling, the bronze in 59.2. Harriet Jones, winner of the 50 metres gold medal, wins silver on this 100. And, well, a really great swim from Laura Stevens, Amy.
Yeah, Laura's had a fantastic meet, just outside that consideration time for the World Championships in the 200 metres butterfly. I think it was 0.02, so was gutted to see her just miss that, but she finishes here, takes gold, the British national title in a time of 58.43. So fingers crossed we see her on one of those world teams this summer, and I'm sure she'll be at the Olympic Games, no doubt, and maybe even the Europeans with those kinds of swims.
Well, well, it's nice to see the swimmer on the left-hand side there, Harriet Jones. I'm sure we'll see all 3 of them at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. Not too far away now, are they? End of July. That really is marching on. And I'm sure they will all be there, all 3 of them. Wow, what a session that was. What an amazing 200 metres freestyle. Well, I have to say, it was even better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was really close. We knew it would come from some of those centre lanes, but you never know with these boys who's going to finish 1st, who's going to get their hand on the wall 2nd, and who's going to take that bronze medal. So to see Tom Dean, Duncan Scott and James Guy are 1, 2 and 3 in this event for the last 5 years, I think. It's really good to see them on the podium, and regardless of the order, they've all swam unbelievable times tonight.
4th fastest in the world this year. It's a bronze for James Guy on the 200 metres freestyle at the British National Championships. World champion in 2015, double Olympic champion in 2021. The Olympic champion on the 200 metres freestyle. It's silver here at the British National Championships, double Olympic champion in bronze and silver. What a great swim that was, and what a race. Yeah, get it the right way round. Can't have it the wrong way round, can we?
No. Imagine if your Olympic medal comes on back to front. The first thing you're going to do is flip that round. But here we have Duncan Scott, our British national champion, in a time of 1:45.54. And considering he's not rested, he's not in the best shape of his life. He's finished #1 in the world so far this year. So fantastic swimming from these three boys, and nice to see them also great friends, great teammates, and they get the best out of each other every single time they swim.
Huge respect for each other, but also a massive rivalry. World ranked #1 in the centre. On the left-hand side, Tom Dean, world ranked #2 from that race. And on the right-hand side, world ranked #4, and little Jack Butner. Well, that's a great shot, isn't it? The chief exec of British Swimming, done such a super job with British Swimming for such a long time. It's wonderful to see, and he's getting a selfie. He's got his camera out, and he'll take that one away with him. I'm absolutely sure. Bunch of superstars there. Look at that.
Yeah, why not? A selfie with those three boys is as good as it gets, and they just keep saying how that they've come here and they're not rested. So if they're not rested and they're swimming that quick, I cannot wait to see what these three boys are going to do this summer.
5 Olympic gold medals from Tokyo between those guys. 2 for Tom Dean, 2 for James Guy, just the 1 for the winner, Duncan Scott, but he also got another 3 silvers. What an amazing meet. Well, I've got to say, Amy, it's been a fantastic pleasure to work with you this week. I've really enjoyed it. I hope you have too.
Yeah, definitely, and the swimming's made it so much fun to commentate on, and maybe missed being in the pool, but I've enjoyed being here just as much.
Fantastic, and what a wonderful way to finish the meet as well, with that incredible men's 200 metres freestyle.
Yeah, world-class swim to finish our British Swimming Championships for 2022.
Well, it's been a fabulous meet. There's been 1,500 swimmers, there's been 4,000 swims, and we've finished with the greatest race of the meets, the men's 200 metres freestyle. Thank you all for watching. It's been fantastic fun commentating on it, and look forward to the next one. The summer's going to be pretty busy. It's goodbye from me, Andy Jameson.
And goodbye from Amy Wilmot.
Goodbye.